who is eating correctly. The piece of nutrition is important. Getting your sleep when you're a college student, because there's a lot of distractions that get in the way of you doing that. So those are the things that we'll see. Like the team that is more prepared mentally as well as, cardiovascularly, if you will, they have that advantage.
Should be a fun one this afternoon for sure. A little bit of a desperate post team, and then a St. Mike's team who's still in third place but looking to get some wins. Wrapped up 3 ties, or 3 shootout losses ties so far. They've got back-to-back ties, actually, because they tied the game last Saturday as well. So should be a fun one this afternoon. We thank you for joining us wherever you are. Not a lot of changes to the lineup. The Eagles have changed nobody. It's the same lineup they had yesterday. St. Mike's has made 2 changes. One is Jack Toot will be the number 1 center, replacing Ty Bloom, and Evan Plunkett will be in goal for St. Mike's. Coach, we joked the size differential between Manahan and Plunkett, about 7-8 inches there. So what does Plunkett bring at 5'7" as a goaltender that maybe Manahan doesn't, 6'4"?
Well, again, when you're a bigger goaltender, right, you just getting out from your net, you just physically take up more space, right? That's obvious. And, Plunkett's super athletic, has very good rebound control from what I've seen, a really good goals against average. They both do. So he brings a different way you make a save, but both are exceedingly effective in the net.
Eagles will next play 2 games in Pennsylvania next weekend, so this is a big final home game before Thanksgiving in the NE10. Good crowd filing in here for this afternoon. Time for the starting lineups. They are brought to you by Post University, who wants you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals no matter where you are on your academic journey. Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to take a visit on campus, take a tour, or apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. As we mentioned, and we're just talking about, the goaltender for St. Mike's, the Purple Knights, out of Vermont, is Evan Plunkett, 5'9", sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's that can't be right. He's got a 1.97, 2-0-1, there we go. A 1.97 goals against average with a .950 save percentage. Their zeros look like 8s on this form, and that didn't make any sense.
It could be smaller.
Need to wear my glasses, I think. The defensive combination is Ian Willannon. He's a 6'2 sophomore out of Pomfret, Connecticut, and Ben Nichols, 5'10 junior out of Andover, Massachusetts. The forwards on left wing, Braden Nauman, 5'8 junior out of Boston, Massachusetts. Patrick Last, who had a good game yesterday, 5'10 sophomore out of Derry, New Hampshire. And Roman Winicki, 5'11 sophomore out of Setauket, New York. Head coach in Season 1 is Jack Fitzgerald. Season 1, always good to be a first-year coach, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, Jack, I know him a bit, and he's a really good player, really solid human. He brings a lot to that program. He brings, again, some of that youthful energy to somebody who it's not that long ago that he was on the ice versus on the bench. So that can always be helpful for, to relate to your team and to get it all figured out.
But you don't dislike St. Mike's as much as you used to, right?
Who may? I don't dislike anybody, Jeff. It's a beautiful world.
For the Eagles, Ben Cunine gets the start again. 1-3-1, 2.19 goals against average. Actually went down from yesterday. .930 save percentage. His defensive combination are the team who probably played close to 25 minutes yesterday, which is Aiden Kennedy, 6'1", 190, sophomore out of Schaumburg, Illinois, and Owen Rieger, 6'2", 185, sophomore out of Foxborough, Massachusetts. Their forwards on left wing, Baxter Kimball, 5'10", 177, senior out of Elliott, Maine. Connor Murray, assistant captain, 5'10", 165, senior out of Bedford, New Hampshire. And Bradley McMain, who scored his first goal of the season yesterday to make it 1-0. The sophomore out of South Portland, Maine, will play right wing. Head coach is Tim Richter, assistant coach Andy DeAngelis. Tim is in season 4 as head coach, taking over for the man to my right. Teams getting ready to take the ice this afternoon. They'll do the starting lineups to the crowd piling in here to the Sports Center of Connecticut. Then we'll do our national anthem. Big game for the Eagles, trying to climb their way out of the NE10 cellar. Did get their first point yesterday, but looking for more this weekend. If they can close out of here with a 4-point weekend, that'll send them going with 3 games remaining in the fall portion of their schedule. Next home game will be Tuesday night, December 2nd, 7:30 p.m. Puck drop 7:15 pregame on the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPost. Eagles coach and I back again for a Tuesday night game on the Post University Sports Network. Coach, is it a question of, so we talked yesterday, first goal was going to be big. Turned out the last goal was obviously big.
Right.
Is it the first 5 minutes today? Is the first period today? What's sort of the key to the start of this game today? Because yesterday was such a slog in that first period.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to probably have the same mindset of really trying to set the pace and the tone the first 5 minutes. Whereas yesterday, the first 5 minutes, I felt like was more of a feeling out period, because that was the first time this season that these teams played each other. So I feel like there was a little bit of that. Now there's familiarity. They know, individual players know certain traits and characteristics about how certain players on the other team play. So there's actually ends up being this interesting bit of almost more of a little bit of a comfort zone where there's no longer the unknown. We got a plan. I would expect the first 5 minutes, both teams getting after it pretty hard, and hopefully Post are the ones that are the ones pushing that pace and forcing St. Michael's to keep up with them.
Eagles in their home whites today, St. Mike's in their road purple. I'd like to see the Eagles wear their road purple in one game. Really like those jerseys, but we never get to see them at home.
No, those are pretty sharp.
Announcing the starting lineups to the crowd piling in here. Should be a much more lively crowd than yesterday's, as that was sort of a late afternoon crowd. But given it's a Saturday afternoon, people starting to file in here to the Sports Center of Connecticut. We hope to see you here today. If you can't join us, hopefully you're out here on Tuesday, December 2nd for the next home game against Franklin Pierce, also an NE10 conference game. Big day in the NE10 today, as everybody's playing each other again today in conference. Franklin Pierce now sitting in first place. Who would have thought that last year?
Yeah,
4-0.
Yes, what a great job he's doing over there with a turnaround on that program.
Is that just a recruiting thing, or what do we?
Probably a lot of things. I mean, typically nothing is ever usually one thing. It's an accumulation of things, right? So I'm sure there's everything changed a little bit, and then having an alum in there who had really a wonderful career there and is pretty well respected amongst the room. That's a difference maker too. A known entity, if you will.
Known entity. Big day on campus again, as the women's volleyball team are playing in the CACC semifinals. We'll see if we can get you updates on their score as today moves along. Women's hockey also playing again today at Stonehill. See if we can get an update. And actually, we do have an update from the CACC semifinals. The Eagles have lost 3-2 to Holy Family in the CACC semifinals, so they fall to 25-5. Now we'll pause for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here this afternoon from the Sports Center of Connecticut, where St. Mike's and Post play Game 2 of a 2-game series. We'll go over all of the comings and goings on the Post University sports scene in the first intermission as we usually do. But just to recap, the women's volleyball team losing in the semifinals 3-2 to Holy Family this afternoon. They should be in line for an at-large berth at 25-5, but obviously we have to wait for the tournament committee to come out. Women's hockey up at Stonehill midway through the third period trailed 2-0 to Stonehill after beating them 3-2 yesterday. A goal just a moment ago makes it 2-0 up at Stonehill. Eagles in the home whites going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. St. Mike's going left to right. They're in their road purple as we get ready for the opening face-off between Last and Murray. Wherever you are across our network, whether in a home in Monroe, Connecticut, on campus, around the state, around the world, or in a hospital in Riverview, Florida, we thank you for joining us this afternoon on the Post University Network. It's hockey time in Connecticut. Face-off is down, and off we go. Nichols, behind his own net, starts out. Clean pass up the middle, but turned over by Last. Puck played in the middle and finally taken by Kennedy inside his own zone. Kennedy with a little chip pass out to Kimball, goes back to Murray, but turned it over, and back comes Nauman. Nauman brings it in the zone, rims it around the boards from far to near. Winicki in that near corner goes behind the net, looking for the streaking Lecomte. Excuse me, that was Nauman. And the puck goes out to center. Alain, the captain. Quick pass up to Last. Last brings it in the zone again. Here's Nauman trying to corral a bouncing puck. Couldn't do it. And McQuegan came on and got it out to center. Only 4 penalties total yesterday, and they were all within 2.2 seconds of each other. Here's Norling bringing it in over the line with a backhand pass through the crease and out of play. As we just said, Coach, 4 penalties total yesterday. 3 went to Parker Norling, and 1 went to Ty Bloom, who's out of the lineup today, all within 2.2 seconds. Long story short, not a lot of odd man opportunities yesterday as each team had 2.2 seconds of power play time.
No, and those penalties, too, came from really a place of frustration, I think, on both teams. So that's something I'm sure Coach talked to them about prior to this game.
McDevitt down behind the net trying to get the puck from Bloom. Puck sent in. McQuegan finds it in the slot, tried to spin around with it. Douglas chipped it off the wall and up and out. Here's Baxter. Baxter over the line. Found Torianen, who tried to take a shot. It got deflected. And another shot deflected on the Ben, who makes his first save. Kunin, his first save of the game. Again, coming in with a .930 save percentage. Here's Norling. Excuse me, that was Beckett who dumped it in. Pacheco to Glassrud. Haas tried to chip it in. Instead, it's brought back and out to center. And Eagles dump it right back in. Goes off the net behind goaltender Plunkett. And out comes St. Mike's. Here's Nichols. Nichols gets to the line, shoots it in, but it goes right off of Glassrud into the near corner. Glassrud tries to rim it around and does a good job with body position to get off that check behind the net. Still fighting for it, tries to go back to Pacheco. And does on the far side, and he'll go up in the air and out. Pass turned over. Pekka stole it, dumped it in. He'll go chasing after it. Alain gets there first. Pekka on him. He rims it around the far side wall. Chipped just out of the zone, so Eagles have to tag up for Silius with a long pass ahead, looking for McCarthy. McCarthy credited with both goals yesterday. Originally it was one goal for McCarthy, which was the one that made it 2-1. They give him credit for the game tire with 1:29 to go in regulation time. So McCarthy, 2 goals in the game today. 2:55 gone in the first. Kunin gloves it down. No score. Face off to Ben's left, won by St. Mike's. But Pekka able to get the puck out of the zone. He takes a return feed from McCall. Here's Pekka up on left wing with some speed. He's in over the line. Looked to take a shot. Fanned on it. Now goes around the net. Looking for somebody. The late man is Hope. He gets it to Hope. Hope from the top of the near circle takes a shot that's juggled by Plunkett and gloved down for the Eagles' first shot of the game. 3:17 into the first. No score. Good job by Pekka there using his speed to find an open man.
Yeah, and that's a good quality type of a play. That's a real good hockey play. Possessing the puck, having your head up, and watching the ice, and being on the same page with the defenseman who just slid down the back door.
Murray and Last in the draw to Plunkett's right. They'll do it again. Last got tossed out, so Winnicki will have to take it. Won by Murray. Quick shot by the Eagles, stopped by Plunkett. As Baxter Kimball ended up with that puck off the faceoff, just didn't get everything on it. And Plunkett was able to make the save. Now a baseball swing by McMain sends it all the way down, but Plunkett came out to play it. That warded off the icing. Otherwise it would have been. Here's Last. Last brings it in over the line, gives to Winnicki. Winnicki tries to make a fancy move, but Kimball makes a nice play to get it out to McMains. McMains 1-on-3. Over the line, long shot, blockered by Plunkett off the near side glass. And Eagles will change behind the play, and Alan has an opportunity to get it out. Tipped at the red line, so no icing. Coming after it is Lealy, but Pacheco does a good job to ward him off. Stolen, shot right on as a bad pass led to a Lecomte slap shot. Back to the point to Elaine. Elaine sends it around the boards. Far to near. Glassroot goes over there. He lays a hit on Baxter. Eagles try to get it out, and they just do. Long shot sent right back in on Kunin. He makes a stick save. And now Glassroot behind his own net feeds a nice pass to Norland. Norland looking for McQuegan over past him. No icing as it went under the stick of defenseman Ty Bloom, who was playing center yesterday. Now playing right defense. McDevitt, near side corner, has it stolen by Douglas. Douglas gives to Bloom, who feeds it up the middle. Knights try to get it out, and they do. It's to center. Rieger in his own zone with some speed. Rieger and Kennedy playing close to 25 minutes total yesterday each, and then they'll call that an icing as it was dumped in from the wrong side of the red line. So 5:01 into the first. Still no score. So 5 minutes in, Coach, what have you seen so far?
Pretty good pace. I mean, as honestly slow as the pace was in yesterday's game in the beginning, this is a much quicker pace. Both teams seem to have gotten the message.
Santoro lost the draw for the Eagles, and a shot taken from the point stopped by Kunin. Walsh, number one line of the Knights, Walsh, Toot, and Forsilius today. Puck turned over, and Santoro comes out of the zone past the Haas, 2-on-2. Haas and Beckett. Santoro joins him. Santoro on right wing, feeds it to himself behind the net, comes out the near side, goes back to Kennedy, rolled off his stick, and all the way down the ice. Eagles using that speed, changing direction, trying to go back to the point for a shot from like Kennedy or Rieger, but that one went off Kennedy's stick and all the way down the ice. Puck back in the Knight zone. Plunkett leaves for Racker. Racker tries to get it out, and they do come out nicely with speed. Up and in over the line is Marshall Thomas. Thomas gets checked once, gets checked twice. Sacco in behind the net now on Hope. Puck squirts to the point and just out as Alan had left his position at the point. And then a pass into the Eagle bench where Pekka was coming off. He had to wait for the sixth player, otherwise there would have been too many men on the ice. And the puck dumped in now by McCarthy. McCall goes backwards nicely to O'Connell. O'Connell with some speed, but being chased behind. Turns the puck over in his own zone to McCarthy. A long shot deflected by McCarthy right on a pass centered back in front to try to go off of Kunin's pad. Stopped by Kunin, who held the post. And now Racker and Hope pushing and shoving a little bit. McCarthy and Hope pushing and shoving a little bit. McCarthy, 2 deflected goals in yesterday. As we said, the second goal eventually credited to him after the game. They gave him 2 deflections and 2 goals in the game yesterday, his 3rd and 4th of the season. Face-off to Ben's left. Murray and Last in the face-off dot. Won by Fast. Winicki tried to take a quick shot. It deflected. Instead, it comes to Norman, who takes a shot stopped right on by the right pad of Kunin. As that had eyes, but Kunin got his right pad out to make the save, and now a high dump all the way down. Fresh ice is going to lead to an icing on that one, even though Kimball thinks he won the race, but it's the dots, not the line anymore, so not going to give him that win, and face off back into the Eagle zone to the left of Ben Kunin.
Yeah, probably one of the best change of rules that hockey has ever done is not the race to touch the puck. Really, really makes the game a whole lot safer.
Last and Murray again. Murray won that one. A stick up into the face of Pacheco. No call being made. There wasn't a cage. Pacheco might have lost a couple of teeth on that one. But no call. Glassrud behind his own net, struggling to find it. Being fought off by two Knights. He takes one down as opposing number 22, Winicki. Puck comes free. Last took a turnaround shot. Went off the leg of Winicki. He picks it up. Spins in the far circle. Goes back to the point to Douglas. Douglas takes a shot. Nice block, though. And the Eagles come out 2-on-2. McMains trying to go right up the middle and around. Two defensemen. Bloom hit him. That's going to be a penalty for interference. And then McMains goes back and takes Bloom out. That may lead to coincidental minors, but definitely interference on Ty Bloom, who was the only Knight to take a penalty yesterday. Doesn't look like they're going to give McMains anything there, so at 7:14, the Eagles get their first real power play of the weekend. We'll see how long it lasts, but first real power play of the weekend. And they'll have an opportunity to get on the board early here this afternoon. Eagles are 4 for 21 on the man advantage. That's third in the NE10, while St. Mike's is 14 of 15 on a penalty kill. That's second in the NE10. Face-off one to Haas. Goes to Kimball, takes a return pass. He and Kimball play catch. Puck tries to be brought in front by Kimball. Can't find it. One bang by McMains, two bang by puck still loose. And finally, St. Mike's gets it and rims it all the way down the ice. Simple play led to a couple shots. Didn't get a ton of rebound opportunities because Plunkett stuck his pad out. And the defense crawled into the crease, but back come the Eagles. Haas gets in over the line, draws a lot of players, maybe too many as it's dumped back to the point, still in the zone. 5 players right on that blue line trying to find it. Kennedy does a good job to do it and keep it in. Kennedy being stick checked, gives it to Kimball, takes a shot right on, leaves a rebound, does Plunkett, and then eventually holds on, and a cross check to Haas afterwards by Toot. Doesn't look like there's going to be any penalties there.
Yeah, post
40. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just their power play. Get it to the point, and then just everybody go to the net and try to outnumber. That's simplified, and so far pretty effective in creating some opportunities.
43 seconds gone on the man advantage so far, so the Eagles have had 3 shots so far on this man advantage, and the puck sent into the St. Mike's bench off the faceoff, as the Eagles have brought in their second power play unit. 8:02 gone in first period, still no score. Murray and Last, who I think had been in the faceoff dot 4 times already today, will go again. To the right of Plunkett. Won by Last. Eagles, though, managed to keep it in momentarily as Rieger fights to keep it down, sends it all the way over to Beckett on right point. Beckett waits, gives down to McDevitt. Nice triangular passing there. Shot by Murray, though, blocked. Didn't really get a lot on it, as it was blocked and fanned on slightly. Plunkett managed to kick it away. Norling being held in the near side corner, trying to fight off a check. It gets it back to Beckett. Beckett goes D to Rieger. Rieger takes a shot. He scores! A simple wrist shot from the top of the far circle, and Rieger at 8:34, a power play goal. And the Eagles have tied as many power play goals as they had all of last season and have a 1-0 lead.
That was, again, just a really good job, puck movement, keeping it in, but a simple game. Simple game. Move it. Puck had eyes. He found a nice shooting lane, took advantage.
8:34 the time, the goal for Owen Rieger, his first of the season. At 8:34, again, a power play goal. Give 1 assist to Holden Beckett. We'll see who gets the second assist on that goal, because there's definitely a second assist. We'll just make sure who that was. St. Mike's comes right back with a high shot taken that goes over the glove of Kunin, and out a 3-man rush by the Eagles if they can get to it. Racing after it is Hawkins. William Hawkins playing his second straight game. Puck squirts free into the slot, kept in momentarily, but now back to O'Connell. Hope to Hawkins. Long shot stopped by Kunin. And we'll get to the official scoring in just a second. Here's Hope over the line. Hope carries on right wing. Gets spun away. Hawkins in there fighting for it. Taken by Racker. Racker behind the net. Checked nicely by Hope, who's playing defensive down there. And the stick goes flying. And it looks like there's going to be an Eagle penalty here to Hawkins. Not a lot of penalties yesterday. Well, there's 2 in the first 10 minutes. At 9:39, looks like Hawkins for roughing?
No, I think he said interference.
Interference?
Yeah, I think the second was interference.
So that'll put the Purple Knights on the man advantage. Let's clear up the goal. Right now it's Murray from Rieger and Beckett. So for Murray, his second of the season, a power play goal at 8:34. Hawkins 2 for interference, and the Eagles shorthanded for the first time, again, really this weekend, other than 2.2 seconds. Puck stays in the zone. Douglas tries to keep it in, but it goes out. And good job by the Eagle penalty kill. Right now, number 1 in the NE10. 15 for 16 on the kills. St. Mike's second in the NE10 on the man advantage. They are 4 for 20. So St. Mike's brings it out of its own zone, trailing 1-0 on the Murray power play goal. So Murray second from Rieger and Beckett at 8:34. Stolen, Rieger carries it to center. He brings it in over the line on left wing. Rieger holds, waits, feeds it across for a one-timer. Nice look there to Pekka. But Pekka fanned on it as he went circle to circle. As Eagles shorthanded right now. Bad pass, Rieger chops at it, keeps it in center ice. Pekka fighting for it, but finally dumped into the Eagles zone. McCowell with time and space behind his own net. Nice pass to Kennedy. He'll go all the way down the ice. That's a good job by the Eagles on the kill in the first minute 10.
Yeah, they're doing a good job pressuring everywhere on the ice, which makes it very difficult for you to set anything up.
Nichols, cross ice pass, finds Lecomte. Lecomte over the line on left wing, tries to take a shot, fanned at it, then dumped it around the boards from far to near. Winnicki behind the net for Lecomte again. Winnicki now in the corner, but a good job by McDevitt to steal it, but didn't get it out as Nichols kept it in. Nichols on left point, he plays catch with Winnicki. Winnicki back to the point, bobbled the puck, did Nichols. Nichols goes D to Lecomte, is playing the left point, and a nice block by McQuiggan wearing the opposing 24, and he got it out the center. Now only 10 seconds left on the Hawkins penalty. Lecomte dumps it back in around the boards from far to near. O'Connell gets it up and out, and that'll end the Purple Knights' first power play. They go 0 for 1. Good job by the Eagles, who maintain their lead in the NE10 on the penalty kill. Small sample sizes, and despite the record, the Eagles' special teams have been good so far. Here's Murray. Over the line on left wing with speed. Leaves it. Shot by McMains right on. Top of the near circle. Wrist shot by McMains, who scored yesterday. Stopped by Plunkett. Eagles 1-0 lead, power play goal by Murray, and kill off a penalty right afterwards. So 8:05 to go in period 1, 1-0.
Yeah, St. Michael's defenders are going to have to do a better job of being a little bit higher up because they're crashing down too low to the goaltender, leaving lanes for the post players to skate into and crash the net.
Here's Ashton Allain, the Purple Knights captain. He'll dump it in behind the net. Ben out to get it. Ben plays it up the near side wall. Murray, the goal scorer, finds it, spins, turns, gets a nice pass to Glassrud, who feeds it out to Kimball. McMains. McMains, he leads for Kimball. Glassrud takes it, gives to Murray, who fanned on the shot in the circle. So nice passing there by the Eagles, but fanning in an opportunity. Toriainen gives to Baxter. Baxter shot it off Pacheco, now into the corner around the boards. McMains picks it up on the far side. Spins away from the check. Nice chip pass up to Santoro. The Eagles should get out of the zone, and they do. Kimball at the blue line, dumps it in. He'll go off on a line change. Santoro will forecheck in on Ty Bloom. Bloom spins away from Santoro, tries to get it out of the zone, just barely did. Beckett sends it right back in, but goes into the Purple Knights bench. 7:16 to go in the first, 1-0 Eagles.
Yeah, Post doing a good job of getting into those shooting lanes and blocking those shots. That's been something that I think has happened more than once so far in the defensive zone, that they're doing a really good job of that.
Santoro and Marshall Thomas on the face-off to Plunkett's right. One by the Eagles. Going forward with it was Haas, but then turned it over, and out comes McCarthy. McCarthy then turned it over to Santoro. Looks to go across the ice to Kennedy. He found him, and now Kennedy with some speed gets to the red line, dumps it in, gets by Plunkett. Haas will chase in after it, trying to forecheck, but then sent back out to center by St. Mike's. Rieger to Kennedy. To the red line, dumps it right on. Bouncing puck stopped by Plunkett. Can't control it, turned it over momentarily, but got some defensive help by Wolanin. Pinned to the wall, 2 Eagles fighting against 2 Purple Knights. Puck comes up the wall and out to center. Here's McCarthy looking for Nichols. They'll dump it in, go on a line change. Beckett behind his own net with some time as everybody went for a change on the Knights. He'll come out with it, fanned on it, left it behind for Hope. Hope will now have somebody watching him. That's last. Goes across to O'Connell. Long pass to Haas on left wing. Haas over the line, tries to go around the defensive racker. He did momentarily, but turned the puck over. And played by Winicki. Winicki goes back to Elaine. Elaine behind his own net, goes out the center to the leg of Nauman. Nauman to Last. Last gets checked by Norling, but he checks back and then centers it in front. Deflected out of the zone, though, by McQuegan. With 5:53 to go in period 1. Racker being checked by McQuegan. He forced a turnover, but couldn't get back to the puck, and the Knights came back defensively, and Douglas will feed a long pass up on left wing for Nauman. Good job by Pacheco to get in the way and send it back toward the Knight zone. Lots of long passes by the Purple Knights. They finally one there for Toot, who tried to take a shot, blocked, and then gets a rebound as it popped up in the air. Toot taken down by McQuegan as he charged toward an open puck in the crease of Cuneen, and the Eagles come out. Pacheco over the line on right wing, chop checked by Walsh, then takes down the man in front of him, Douglas. Puck bobbling right now and bouncing. Finally on the stick of McCowell, who makes a nice feed to Norling, a little too far though, and Bloom steals and feeds it up the middle. Good passing here to Walsh. On right wing, takes a shot, looking for the top corner, almost found it, as that just went wide and high. Pekka tries to get it out the center. He does. It's sent back in the zone. Knights have to tag, but then a long pass by Glassrud up the middle, looking for Gazzardi. Had it roll off a stick. Pekka centers it in front. Has Rieger with a shot blocked down as that was going high. Pekka finds it in the near corner. Gives to Gazzardi. Gazzardi, nice behind the back pass to Pekka, though rolled off his stick. Nichols fighting for it against Pekka. Rims it right back behind the net, and Pekka has it again. Pekka comes out the far side, goes back to Rieger. Rieger takes a shot toward the net, deflected by Gazzardi. Right on, stopped by Plunkett. Gazzardi fighting in the near side corner now. 5 players in that corner, 2 Eagles, 3 Knights. Finally comes away, rimmed all the way around the Wolanin. Wolanin has some time, and the Knights finally get it out the center, but the Eagles bring it right back in with Rieger. Eagles tag up. There's a stick in the slot as well, pushed away. Murray, though, off the bench, going after Wolanin. A long pass up ahead to Forselius. He'll go back to Toot, who tried to dump it in and went off a stanchion and didn't get very far, but good job by Baxter to get it into the Eagle zone and push it there. 1-on-3 is Baxter against 3 Eagles, now 2-on-3. Right in front of us here in the broadcast center. Kimball tries to get it out. Lecomte comes over to help out. Finally, the Eagles get it out the center and now try to go around Racker, who fell down, but he did a good job to keep the puck next to him, and back comes Lecomte. Lecomte avoids the hit of Hope, but turns the puck over, and it's sent back to center and all the way down. Elaine in his own zone with 3:25 to go in the first. 1-0 Eagles on a Connor Murray power play goal. That's who it's credited to right now at 8:34. Hope up the wall, out the center, and Douglas will regroup. Bloom, who played center yesterday, playing D today, gives to Douglas, tried to feed a long pass up the middle, which seems to be a bit of the St. Mike's strategy right now. It turns it over. Didn't do any damage, though, as Douglas ended up with the puck back in his own zone. Rieger at center. Turned it over to Douglas, but Norling there back to help. Now he'll spin away in his own zone. Has help. Gives it to Kennedy with 2:45 in the first period. Kennedy to Rieger. Finds Norling. Norling did a good job to spin away from the check. Picked it up on the half wall. Spins it back to Rieger at the point for a one-timer and a shot right on. stopped by Plunkett. Rieger keeps it in for a moment and then sent back out the center. McDevitt tried to pass up the middle. That got blocked by McCarthy's face. Brought into the zone. McCarthy spins down, falls down on his own, and turns it over. Here's Haas with a possible 2-on-1. Finds McQuegan. He tried to. Just a little too far. McQuegan at the end of his shift. And Haas's pass a little bit too far. Beckett comes off, tries to pick it up, but instead the puck slowly moving ahead by A.J. Sacco. He'll send it into the zone, but Glasser, the first one there, the captain of the Eagles for this 25-26 season. Santoro takes the pass, feeds it up to Beckett, leaves for Santoro, who's got speed up on left wing. Santoro in over the line, being watched by two Purple Knights, gets checked off in the near side corner. Haas in there to help, trying to pick up the puck and get it back up the half wall to Beckett. Beckett then turned it over, and out comes Last. Last turned it over to Glassrud. Beckett picks it up at center. Looking for Haas, didn't get it there, and Alain has it for the Knights. He turned it over to Beckett. It slowly rolls toward the Eagle zone, but Santoro there to help out with 1:24 to go in the first. Winicki finds Nauman. Nauman over the line with a chop shot that goes high. Didn't get a lot on it, and it was 2 feet over Ben as well. Glassrud behind his net, feeds to Pekka. Pekka, long pass in the middle to Beckett, swings it over to Pacheco, gives a nice pass to Macau. Macau over the line, tries to chop it around the defensive Bloom. Forselius picked it up, chopped it out to center, and managed to find Walsh. Walsh, 2-on-2 over the line. Walsh tries to use the backhand, but good job by Hope to push him behind the net. Toot in there as well. Macau trying to help out O'Connell, feeds it up the wall to Pekka, and Pekka has an opportunity 2-on-2. Looking ahead for Gazzardi. Gazzardi gets tripped and dumped. No penalty there. Now checked in the corner as the puck rolls there inside the Purple Knight zone with under a minute to go in the first period. Walsh gets to center and makes a spinorama pass to Forselius too far. Hope gets back, gives to Gazzardi with 25. Gazzardi gets to the red line, spins away, will dump it in. Right on to Plunkett, who will leave it for Nichols. Nichols to Willannon. Willannon with a dangerous pass up the middle. Turned it over, though, as McMains picked it up. McMains tried to center in front for Kimball. And then the turnover given to Kimball again. Spins. Murray, one-timer, fanned on it, but got it high and over the corner. 1 second left in the period. They send it toward the net, and that'll end the period number one. Here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, Coach Eagles lead 1-0 on a goal credited to Connor Murray from Rieger and Beckett at 8:34 on the power play. I'd say not a bad period for the Eagles.
No, I mean, I think they did what they needed to do. They needed to come in here and assert themselves, and they got a goal, which is a benefit of that off the power play. And the last 4 minutes of it resemble, I think, ping pong more than it did hockey, because I think there was one shot on goal between the two teams for the last 4 minutes, and both teams just doing a really good job of countering each other's attack. You know, St. Mike's still doing a good job. They bring that weak side forward, slashing diagonally across, and that's been open anytime that they want to use it, pretty much. So Post got to try to adjust to that a little bit. But I think the fact that they're able to play with some pace and some tempo and get that first goal should keep them in pretty good stead as they get into the second period.
That's where we are after one period of play here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. The Eagles lead the Purple Knights in a big game for the Eagles, 1-0. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our look around the post-university sports scene here on the Post-University Sports Network. See you in 2 minutes. currently credited to Connor Murray. The lead 1-0 here in Game 2 of the two-game set against the Purple Knights. Jeff Nelson here in the broadcast center, and as we do in the first intermission of all post-university hockey games, we go around the post-university sports scene. That's brought to you by Post University and its 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs from its nationally ranked men's soccer team, who unfortunately fell 2-1 yesterday and had made 3 Sweet 16s in a row until this season, or the new women's flag football team slated to start in 2026. Post offers a variety of sports in every season you can enjoy. Whether a student, a parent, or a fan, for more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, please go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, it's the holiday season once again, so ask yourself, is there a better way to start the gift that special someone or update that outdated closet than with Post University apparel from the Eagle Team Store? How about your dorm room, home office, apartment, or home? Is it missing that special touch that only an Eagle blanket, Eagle mouse pad, or Eagle desk mat can provide? If you answered yes to any of these questions, it sounds like you need to race to posteagles.com. Click on the Fans tab, then choose School Store on the left-hand side and shop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code GIFTS15 to receive 15% off any order of $75 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code GIFTS, GIFTS 15. It will expire on Monday, November 24th, so get shopping today at the Eagle Team Store. You can also visit the campus store and the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Look around the post-university sports scene. Usually we have a lot of good things to say, and it's a decent time. Unfortunately, it's been a little bit of a bad run over these last 24 hours for the post-university team. We'll start with, as we mentioned a moment ago, the men's soccer team who fell 2-1 to the University of Bridgeport yesterday in the first round of the NCAA tournament. That ends their season at 9-3-7. And unfortunately won't make the Sweet 16 for the fourth consecutive year, but good season overall for the Eagle soccer program. Just had a tough run against Bridgeport, both in the CACC championship and yesterday in the first round up at Southern New Hampshire. Women's hockey, big 3-2 win yesterday against Stonehill up at Stonehill in Game 1 of the two-game set for them. Unfortunately, today they fell 3-0 to Stonehill up at their arena up at Stonehill. That makes the Eagles 5-11-1 on the season, 5-5-1 in conference. They're currently 5th in the NEWHA in standings. They fall to 3-4-1 on the road as well. Their next game will be at Sacred Heart on Tuesday, December 2nd at 11 a.m. That game will be at Sacred Heart at the Materi Family Arena. Their next home game will be Friday, December 5th, 1:30 p.m. against Long Island University. The Sharks here at the Sports Center of Connecticut to come out and support your ladies hockey program here at Post University. Again, the next home game and the last home game until January will be Friday, December 5th at 1:30 p.m. Again, the Eagles 5-10-1 overall. Women's volleyball fell today in the CACC semifinals to number 2 seed in the South, Holy Family. Eagles were number 1 seed in the North, 3-2. That ends the regular season and early postseason for the Eagles. They fall to 25-5 overall. They won the first set 25-22, but then lost 25-21, 27-25 before rebounding in set 4 to win 25-23. The fifth set, Holy Family won 15-9. So Holy Family 22-8. Post 25-5. That game was played in Wilmington, Delaware. Eagles should be in line for an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament with their great regular season overall, but they are now in the hands of the tournament committee. Probably won't be hosting portions of the tournament, but we'll see how that all plays out. Again, not going to tell you I'm an expert on the seeding of NCAA Division II volleyball teams, but they are in line for an at-large bid and should earn one. We'll just wait to hear where they end up. Basketball side doesn't have any games this week. But just to give you an update on where they are, both the men's and the women's, the men are 1-2 on the season. They will play tomorrow at St. Thomas Aquinas, 3 p.m. They'll follow that up with a game on Tuesday at Chestnut Hill before returning home for a game against Southern New Hampshire a week from tomorrow, 3 p.m. up at the Drubner Center. As the men's basketball 1-2 on the season with their one win against Southern Connecticut State University. They will play tomorrow on the road, Tuesday on the road, and then return home a week from Sunday for games for them. Women are 0-2 to start the season. They will play Tuesday at Chestnut Hill before hosting AIC a week from Sunday. That'll be at 12 p.m. up at the Drubner Center, so a doubleheader of basketball next Sunday at home as AIC will come to town for the women. On that end, still looking for their first win of the season. That's your look around the post-university sports scene here for a Saturday afternoon at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our recap of the first period, Coach Whitney's thoughts, and get you ready for period number 2. You're listening and watching the Post-University Men's Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles, otherwise known as the Post-University Sports Network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles lead 1-0, and not to make everybody crazy, but they've changed the scoring on the goal again, so it's back to Owen Rieger on the power play. Give the assist to Holden Beckett and Connor Murray. We'll call that official now because they put it on the score sheet, 8:34. So Rieger his first from Beckett and Murray at 8:34 on the power play. Eagles 1 for 1 on the man advantage in the first. Purple Knights 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Shots on goal for St. Mike's 7, for Post 10. Face-off St. Mike's 8, Post 6. Well, Coach, we had a goal in the first period, which we didn't have all of yesterday. Again, we said the Eagles played much better, but now comes period number 2, which can be a totally different game depending on how you want to look at things. Yesterday were 3 different periods, sort of. What do the Eagles need to do to maintain the momentum they built in the first?
Well, I think, again, the importance of scoring that first goal like that is it kind of takes the pressure off yourself. Not that there isn't a whole lot of game left to play, but you know you can score, and now you can just attack. And if you're St. Mike's, you're not necessarily worried about the fact that you're down only 1-0 because there's a lot of game left. But now it does put the onus on you to create offense and you to put the pressure on and counter what Post is bringing, because Post is doing a really good job in their defensive zone of getting that puck to turn over and break it out, get into the offensive zone. Some pretty good, not a lot of grade A type shots, but consistently getting pucks in and through that force St. Mike's to react. And that's again, in itself, even though you're not in defensive zone, that's one of the best defenses you can have, is forcing a very offensive team, which St. Michael's is, to play defense, which is not that they can't do it. They don't want to do that because they're so good coming in off the rush.
I thought one of the noticeable things in the first period compared to yesterday is the Eagles didn't spend a lot of time in their defensive zone fighting in scrums along the board. They got the puck, found somebody, got it out.
Right. The puck is up and out, again, forcing the offensively minded Purple Knights to have to regroup, reset, refocus, attack, and actually them getting their attack on the puck that comes out into this half of the neutral zone doesn't really suit their offense well, because they're not really a dump it in, go get it type of team. They can do that, but they're much better when they're attacking with speed coming out of their end through the neutral zone, attacking off the rush.
We await the teams to take the ice, for the second period. Don't forget our next home game for men's hockey will be Tuesday, December 2nd, 7:30 p.m. Puck drop, 7:15 pregame on the Post University Sports Network. That comprises the CACC network and youtube.com/Go Post Eagles. So several different places to find your Post University athletics, whether it be men's hockey or women's volleyball. Hopefully we'll make the NCAA tournament. They'll wait for the at-large committee to come back with that. Or the basketball program should now take some more center stage here as fall has turned to winter here in the Northeast, though not terribly cold today, but I don't think we've seen the sun in the last 48 hours.
No, I mean, it was on the ride here, because I'm north of here, I had big blue skies. As soon as I got right around Naugatuck, clouds were still there. I don't know what it's like out there right now because we're inside, but hopefully that cleared out and we end up with a nice day.
Yeah, not freezing cold yet, so that's good. Although in here it's, you could chill meat as cold as we keep it in here. Referees and officials have taken the ice. We just await the Purple Knights and the Eagles to come back on and get ready for an exciting second period. Again, big 40 minutes for the Eagles. They come out of this weekend with 4 points. That'll say something and put them right back to where they need to be in the race in the NE10 conference. Ben Cunine has looked good for the second straight day. Again, the only goals he got beaten on were on deflections, both by Quinn McCarthy yesterday, though late in the third period on both. But if Ben can see that shot, he's making the save right now.
Yeah, it's important, and again, for the defenders in general, to do the job with posts so Ben can see those pucks. As you said, if Ben can see it, he can stop it.
Eagles in the home whites going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. St. Mike's in the road purple going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Again, if you missed it during the first period intermission, the goal officially back to Owen Rieger, his first of the season, from Holden Beckett and Connor Murray, a power play goal at 8:34. There's the horn. Intermission is over. Last and Murray on the draw at center ice. Second period of play here, 1-0 Eagles, and off we go. Rieger, the goal scorer, rimmed it around the boards. Kimball chipped it to Murray. Murray spins it all the way to that Zamboni corner. McMains with a bad angle shot went through the crease and out of the zone. Rieger back to Murray. Murray with a spinorama pass. Doesn't get it in the zone, though, and Last picks it up for St. Mike's. Nichols checked by Kimball and a linesman. Turns it over. St. Mike's does a good job to get it back, but then they turn it over, and a bit of the ping pong continues as the puck sent into the St. Mike's zone. Nichols tried to send it out, went off the stick of McMains, out to center, and Nauman dumps it in and all the way down, and the Knights will go off on the line change, first of the period, 30 seconds in. Bouncing puck here after the Zamboni clean. McQuegan tipped down Racker. He comes up with the puck, though, inside the zone. McQuegan fanned on his pass looking for Norling, now trying to get it back, but the Knights get it out to center, and Hope will play it inside his own zone. Looking for McQuegan, who tipped it into the zone. He'll chase Elaine. Elaine spins with it, looks for Toriainen. Toriainen sees a nice chip pass to Racker, and then Racker looks up ahead, but too far. This might be an icing as Hope gets back. Nope, Ben tried to touch it, so no icing. Hope did get back, fed it to Norling on the far side, and they chip it out to center. O'Connell back. Watched by Baxter, feeds a nice pass up to Norling. He'll go across the ice looking for McQuegan, but it got blocked by the defense of Cole Douglas and Ty Bloom of the Knights. Bloom, long pass, but bad pass, stolen by O'Connell. Bloom takes it back. He'll bring it in over the line, offsides at the Eagle line. 1:41 gone in period 2, 1-0 Eagles.
Yep, kind of more of the same there, back and forth. With the puck there, teams kind of getting their legs going here, I think, as we start the second period.
Ping pong was a good turn, Coach. Eagles lose that faceoff. They were 8-6 in the first on the wrong side on faceoffs. Lose that one. Glassrud gives it to Haas, who's trying to find it in his skates. He gets checked off by Walsh before he could. Managed to chip it back to Glassrud, goes behind his net, falls to his knees, now falls on his butt as Glassrud goes sliding between several players who now fight for it in the near side corner, but Pacheco comes away with it, makes a dangerous move in the middle, and then turned it over. The Eagles did a good job to help out, and Santoro gives it to Beckett. Beckett gets to the blue line, dumps it in. Pacheco chasing in there from his D position. Gives it to Santoro on the far side corner inside the Knight zone. Santoro comes away with it. Centers it in front to Haas and shoots right on. Oh, a beautiful pass by Santoro. Found Haas 15 feet out between the circles. He closed in, but Hackett made a big blocker save there. 2.5 minutes into period 2. Knights get it out, but turn it over to Kennedy. Kennedy to Gazzardi. Gazzardi to McCall. McCall 2-on-1 over the line. Takes a shot too far, looking for the far post. Might have been looking to pass it off the pads more than anything else. St. Mike's tries to get it out of the zone, but the Eagles stand tall at the blue line. Bloom checked by McCall and Pekka. Pekka, though, holds the stick, turns it over. No call there. Break for the Eagles as Pekka was holding the stick, and then a hit from behind again. Referees seem uninterested in blowing the whistle this weekend on potential penalty calls for either team.
Play for a minute there resembled knee hockey more than ice hockey.
Here's Pekka. Up on left wing, over the line. Pekka with space, takes a shot toward the net, but Bloom got a stick on it and blocked it. Gazzardi gets in there with a fancy move to get it from behind the net to in front, but he's pinned on the half wall by Marshall Thomas. Now 5 players fighting for it. Eagles 3-on-2 down, but come away with it somehow. Pekka spins to the far corner, spins back to the point to Kennedy. Kennedy has nobody else there, takes a long shot toward the net. Screened in front of Plunkett, but didn't get to him. But now Kennedy comes away with it. He goes down, still no call. As Bloom plays it behind his net. Bloom gets the center, dumps it high. That'll give St. Mike's a chance to change pretty much everybody. And O'Connell will pick it up behind his own net. O'Connell feeds a dangerous pass to Kimball. Nauman did a good job to check him off, but then he just sent it right back into the zone to Kennedy. And a quick turnover. O'Connell fed it up ahead. They turned it back over. And the team's playing catch with each other as the puck just goes back and forth, blue line to blue line. The Eagles dump it in. Plunk it out to play it, dangerously so. Chipped it up the wall, and they managed to not get it out as McBains played it right on the blue line. McBains with speed has Kimball for a one-timer from the top of the circle, just missed. Hope, long shot deflected by McBains. Didn't get it on goal, and Nichols will have an opportunity to clear, and they finally do. Winicki to last over the line, has some space with a shot, right pad save by Kunin as the Eagles seas parted. And that gave Last an opportunity on left wing, but if Ben can see it, he can stop it, and he did on that case there. Eagles get the puck out of the zone and will race back the other way. It's McDevitt. McDevitt goes around the check of a lane, pitches it into the corner, gets turned around. Refs letting them play as both McDevitt and Elaine pushing and shoving and all sorts of fun stuff, but the refs letting them play, and the puck goes back out the center. Glassrud. All 6-7 of them, the Eagle captain over the line, takes a shot that Plunkett swallows whole. 5:17 into period 2. A little more pushing and shoving, Coach, but the officials seem uninterested in calling penalties so far.
Yeah, more aggressive play, and I think they're doing a good job. I mean, there isn't anything that's happened that precluded the player from making the play they wanted to make.
McDevitt to the left in the faceoff against Lealy. Lealy wins it back. McQuegan holds him off. Douglas feeds it up, and Baxter comes out of the zone looking for Lecomte a little bit too far, and Glassrud there first. Sent a dangerous pass on the middle, and he turned it over. Bloom tried to cut in, but good job by McQuegan of checking off, and Glassrud retains the puck behind the net. Watched by Baxter, tries to feed a puck up the middle, nearly turned it over, but Norling picked it up at center. He'll go 1-on-4. Norling over the line, behind the net, spins back, far corner, looking to pass. Instead, dumps it behind the net. McQuegan will get there. Puck rimmed around to the near side where Lecomte will play it and out to center. Probably no icing as it went off Pacheco, and Glassrud played it before the end line anyway. And Glassrud to feed a long pass ahead off Santoro's leg. They're going to call icing, say he didn't touch him at all. 6:03 gone in period 2, 1-0. Ill-advised pass there, Coach, as they were trying to find Santoro, but instead of icing.
Yeah, I think Post would do well to settle the puck down a little bit. And I know you want to play at speed and at pace, but you also have to be effective. So maybe hold that puck a little bit, get your head up, take a good look, and here and there you have more ice that you can take rather than just moving the puck as hard as you can.
Santoro won the draw from 2. It ends up behind the net. Glassrud fighting for it against Colin Walsh. Eagles come up with the puck. Santoro trying to spin away from the check of Forsilius. Now again a strum in the corner on the near side, deep in the Eagle zone. Swings around to Haas, who's had the best opportunity of the period. An open shot 15 feet out. Now a turnover and a high shot taken by Toot that goes high and wide. And now Wolanin let it go by him and out the center. Nichols spins to Walsh. Walsh chips it back to Wolanin, gets the red line, dumps it in around the boards from near to far. Glassrud chipped it up for Haas on the half wall. Haas turned it over, though. Forsilius, top of the far circle, takes a shot toward the net. Rebound as Kunin got a blocker on it and then couldn't find it in the slot, but the Eagles sweep it away and come out the other side. Here's Hawkins over the line. Santoro with time, takes a shot, but got blocked in front as the leg of Racker got on it before it could get to Plunkett. St. Mike's comes the other way, dumps it in. Kennedy in his own zone being checked hard, but does a good job to escape Marshall Thomas. Here's Hawkins in over the line. Centering in front to Kennedy as they tried to play a two-man game, but the pass went a little bit too far, and back comes St. Mike's the other way. Now it's opened up a little bit. Puck squirts into the slot, bounces away into the corner. McCowell comes up with it. Gets taken down again. Shot taken from the point, blocked as A.J. Sacco, the son of NHL player Joe Sacco, former head coach, I think, of Colorado as well. As he plays here for St. Mike's. Puck dumped into the Purple Knight zone as Last avoids 2 checks. Tried to get it out but didn't do it, and then it goes high into the air and dumped right back in. Good job by the Eagles to keep the puck from going out. O'Connell's going to be at the far side point. He'll dump it back in looking for Gazzardi. Bloom spins off a check of Pekka. Gazzardi gets it back to the point, but then O'Connell couldn't get to the puck and it'll roll all the way to center. Now it's a race. O'Connell crashes into Hope, but manages to get the puck and come out the other side, and now he's at the red line with speed. In over the line, centers it in front of Gazzardi. He tried to take a chop shot. Rebound! Swallowed up by Plunkett before Pekka or O'Connell could get there. 8:14 into the second. It's opened up a little all of a sudden.
It was. That was a really good play, really good recovery by OC there. That puck kind of bouncing, couldn't get it. Worked his tail off, got back, recovered it, came in, and was the leader of a good scoring opportunity right there.
Murray and Lealy to the left of Plunkett. Tried to go forward to Murray. Kimball came up with the puck. McBain's dropped his stick, and now a 3-man rush for the Purple Knights as Lecomte over the line. Looks to center it, but one man cut in front of the other. Lealy takes a turnaround shot that gets blocked in front. That was Lecomte, actually, and Lealy got a leg on it. Now a long dump down the ice. Trying to win the race is Rieger. He does. Probably avoided an icing. McMains comes over to the near side half wall to pick it up, finds Murray. Murray centers it in front to Kimball, but he couldn't control it. Now regains his possession. Kimball behind the net to Murray. Murray tries to go back to Kimball. Ends up back to Murray right in his skates. Tries to find it. He does. Goes back to Rieger. Rieger spins away from Lecomte. Comes in. Centers it in front to Kennedy, whose stick snapped in half. Now he's wise to stay there. Try to play the puck as there goes $300. And the puck sent back to Lecomte. And you can hear Kennedy very frustrated as his stick snapped in half as he goes back to the bench. Coming in the Knights with a shot right on by Lecomte. Goes behind the net after getting blocked on a second opportunity, and here's Hope at center. Hope, now a singular effort as he goes in. Checks off Alain. Big hit there by McDevitt. Knocks down Quinn McCarthy, and the puck squirts back to center. Defense being very aggressive here for the Eagles, coach, pinching up offensively.
Yeah, they need to take away that time and space in the neutral zone. They're doing a good job of that.
as Hope has gone end-to-end, O'Connell's gone end-to-end, and so has Kennedy gone end-to-end, and might have had a goal had his stick not snapped in half, and it's still sitting inside the Purple Knight zone by the Zamboni corner. Now Hope checked hard by Walsh. Puck goes back to the point. Now goes around the boards after it was dumped back in. McQuegan tries to get there first. He's checked into the wall in the near side corner. 4 players fighting for it. Add a 5th with McDevitt. Now add a 6th as Forselius comes in there. So a rugby-type scrum in the near side corner. Forselius comes away with it. Takes a shot. That's gloved by Kunin from the top of the near circle with 9:47 to go in the second period. Still 1-0 Eagles on the Owen Rieger power play goal in the first.
Yeah, the pace is there, and really Post now has done a really good job, like I say, of taking away St. Michael's ability to attack off the rush by compressing that neutral zone a little bit more with their D stepping up and kind of holding that. And you can do that when you know that your forwards are back checking, which they are.
Little delay as one of the referees goes back to take Aiden Kennedy's broken stick and stick it in the bench. I think if Aiden could snap it in half 3 more times, he might. The frustration of it snapping on the shot attempt. Puck ends up behind the net, behind Ben Kunin. Nauman had it centered in front, but sticked aside by Kunin. Puck stays in the zone. McCarthy back to the point to Douglas. Douglas takes a shot that bounces wide. Now comes all the way out the other side to Sacco. Sacco looking for McCarthy. Fanned on the shot from the top of the near circle. And Beckett comes away to Santoro. Santoro chips it in, tries to go around. He's checked off by Douglas. Santoro looking for a penalty, not going to get one, as that was kind of light on the penalty front. And now McCarthy checking the Eagles all the way down the ice, forces a turnover to Douglas. Douglas gets to the blue line, dumps it in. That'll allow the rest of his team to go on a line change. And now Glassrud. Long pass down the ice for Haas, too far. That's an icing, and that's the danger with that 4-line pass, which is essentially what it was. End line, blue line, red line, blue line.
Yeah, that was a low percentage pass, if you want to call it that. But the other thing too is you can see with the pace of it, like St. Mike's missing a one-time opportunity there, the stick breaking here, the speed at which they're playing is really got some players out of their comfort zone, so they're not quite able to finish. So like I say, control the puck, maybe not play a slower game, but slow down a little bit with the puck, right? That cliche about go fast by slowing things down.
Winicki had an opportunity from about 20 feet out that went wide, and then a hand pass has led to a face-off inside the Eagles zone with 8:48 to go in period 2. McCowell and Last. St. Mike's has changed up their lines a little bit. Baxter now with Nauman and Last instead of Winicki. Puck sent into the Knight zone. Out to center comes Last. He finds Baxter, who's moved up. Now a nice little chip pass to Last, who took a shot that got blocked and deflected into the near side crowd.
Yeah, and Jeff, that's a really good point that you're making about St. Mike's changing their lines. That's an indication, right, that Post is doing something really well that is forcing the opponent to try to change things up, try to adapt to what they're doing and kind of get away a little bit from their game plan, right? Because who's playing with who is certainly part of your game plan.
Lecomte now on his off wing on the right side with Leoli and Torianen. First time we've really seen this setup for St. Mike's as they try to find additional offense. Again, they did score 2 goals yesterday, but both on deflections, both late in the third period. One 6-on-5, no less as well. So Coach Fitzgerald not happy with his offensive production so far. 8 minutes to go in the second period, still 1-0 Eagles. Racker chips it in. Hope should be the first one in after it. He gets there first, but checked off by Lecomte. Now 5 players behind that. Lecomte tried to come out. A centering pass in front, but blocked as Leoli took a shot. I think Murray got in there with the block. Now Murray cross-checks Lecomte from behind. No call, and the puck sent all the way down the ice. Some of St. Mike's best pressure have been off of those long pass icings that the Eagles have self-inflicted. So something they may want to look at as the rest of the game goes on. Kennedy trying to fight off a check of Forselius, does nicely, and gives up to McDevitt. McDevitt with speed, gets to the blue line, leaves for McQuegan. McQuegan being checked from behind and turned the puck over. Didn't have as much time as he thought, and the puck got sent out the center where Rieger will play it as he gets around Forselius, and now he's using his speed, but turned it over. 3-man rush back the other way, but a nice job by Kennedy to step in. And is that offsides? Nope, that's going to be a tripping penalty. On the 3-on-2, they're going to call a tripping penalty at 12:47. And it's going to go on Hugh McQuegan. And for the second time today, the Eagles will be shorthanded. St. Mike's 0 for 1 on the man advantage so far today.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, too, the best thing you can do when a penalty is called on you, agree or disagree, go to the box. If there's a disagreement on it, your coach will talk to the official because you don't really put that in the official's head.
Nichols, as they set up the umbrella, gives to LeCompte, goes behind the net to Walsh. Walsh back to LeCompte, tried to center it back. He and Walsh now will play catch down on the half wall and in the corner. Back to Nichols. Nichols quickly down low. Eagles play good, aggressive penalty killing, and Pekka leading the way, gets the puck out the center.
Yeah, and right now the Purple Knights on the power play playing into the Eagles' hands by deliberately slowing down the puck, trying to make these little passes. They've got to move it and shoot it.
Hand pass inside the Knight zone on a turnover by Kennedy, so a break for the Eagles there with 6:36 to go in the second, 1:23 to go on McQuegan's penalty for tripping. Face-off will be just outside the Eagles' zone.
You know, you've got to, even if they're maybe not quality shots, grade A shots, you got to move it, shoot it, try to create some chaos. And since you have more players, try to outnumber those pucks and find that rebound.
Santoro won the face-off from Baxter, which gives O'Connell time to dump it in, and he will. McCowell there first, though, trying to take the puck away from Plunkett. But now he'll go back to kill penalties, and out comes McCarthy. McCarthy, who had both goals yesterday, feeds to Forselius. Dumps it in around the boards from near to far. McCarthy gets there first behind the net, chips it up to Sacco. Sacco goes behind the net back to McCarthy, who gets checked by Pacheco. Good job by Pacheco to hold off a little bit, because if he hit him harder, that might have been a boarding penalty. Now a 5-man scrum behind the net to Kunin's right as they just pin the puck there. 40 seconds to go on the man advantage. It comes free. And back to the point to Douglas. Douglas on left point. Gives it down to Sacco. Had a roll off his stick as he tried to take an opportunity, but managed to get it back to Douglas at center point. Now they play catch. One-timer from Douglas goes wide. Chipped in front. Forselius fanned on a bouncing puck, but managed to keep it in on right point. Dumps it down around the boards looking for Baxter. Pacheco gets there first. He tried to swing it out. Missed. Baxter back to Douglas. Douglas from left to center. One-timer by Forselius, and he fanned on that one totally. And now the puck rimmed all the way around and not out, but there's a broken stick that has to be contended with. I'm not sure whose stick that is. Power play about to expire. Douglas, the one-timer, blocked in front. Now the Eagles have an opportunity to come out offensively. 3-on-2 if they hurry. McCowell, 3-on-2 over the line. Fanned on his shot as he decided he wanted to take it himself and then took down 2 Purple Knights in the process. McCowell trying to get out of the zone, and he say they're onside. That's impressive. McMains carries it, takes a bad angle shot. Rebound left there, pops up in the air as Murray chopped at it. Back to the point, bobbled by Hope, kept it in somehow. That's 2 breaks for the Eagles. Murray sends it back to Kimball, rolled off his stick, and out of the zone comes McCarthy. Hope, though, managed to keep it in. Never got it out. That was an easy clear, and great job by the Eagles to keep it going. Kimball back to Hope, and then stick check, and back comes LeCompte the other way, 1-on-1. Against Rieger, holds Waits, tries to do a fancy move, but Rieger held his ground nicely, didn't buy to the puck fake. Instead, played the man, took the puck, and chipped it out. Kimball the other way, 1-on-3, avoids what would have been a big hit there. Rieger pushes it down. Kimball on the backhand in front. A maze of players now sitting in the slot. Rieger spins, turns, fire, chopped at, and just wide. McMains tries to bounce it off the back of Puck, and it rolls through the crease. And then referees blow the play dead, and a punch thrown by Jake Lealy on Connor Murray was chopping at it. So a lot to digest on that set of plays. Referee lost sight of a puck that was rolling through the crease, and then Lealy, for some reason, punched Murray in the face. All of this happening at 15:55, and that should give the Eagles a man advantage, I believe. They're going to give the penalty to Racker, actually, not Lealy, at 15:55. So the Eagles 1 for 1 on the man advantage will go on the power play for the second time, I believe, unless they're taking somebody else.
Yeah, and when you've got a game as close as this is, again, the mental piece of it, the composure, that's so important.
That was a bad penalty from the standpoint of you could have just pushed him and nothing would have happened, but he sort of went for a swing.
Yep. And they'll call that all day long. Like you said, if it's just a shove or get in your face kind of thing, they just pull you apart and let it go.
Santoro and last. Santoro wins it to Haas. Haas down to Kimball, goes back to Haas, top of the near circle, who feeds down to Kimball in the corner, and they play catch. Haas with space, goes behind the net the other side, tried to center it in front, but nobody was there, and the puck sent all the way down the ice. That was a good setup, but when Kimball centered it, there were no Eagles there to take the puck, and it got sent all the way down. Kunin playing with it behind his own net, gives to Rieger as Nauman playing aggressive penalty kill, and gives it to Haas. Haas with speed, carries in over the line, goes down on right wing, spins in the corner, looks to go back to the point to Kennedy. He does. Kennedy to Kimball. Excuse me, that was McMains. To Santoro, gets pinned by Nichols. Nichols tries to find his own man, Nauman. He does. In the far side corner, McMains does a good job to hit Nauman. Puck squirts free to Kennedy at the point. He'll chips it back in. And Haas does a good job center point to keep it in. Haas spins away. He's on the left side. Feeds it down low to Kimball. Takes a return pass to Haas. Haas, far corner. Goes behind the net to Kimball. Tries to come out with it. And the puck sent all the way down the ice. Net stayed on its moorings, and the Eagles will change up the offense with 55 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Kennedy thought about it, but didn't send it to Norling down 4 lines. Kennedy feeds to Murray, who has speed, has an assist on the goal. Murray uses his speed, comes in, takes a bad angle shot, but had a little hole. Nice stop by Plunkett. Beckett back to Rieger. Takes the shot right on and held by Plunkett with Murray in front, who's becoming a pest to all of the Purple Knights with 31 seconds remaining on the man advantage.
Yeah, a good setup by Post. Again, they're not slowing it down to the point where St. Mike can get set up, but they're slowing it down to the point where everybody can quickly get into a position, then they can move it to that available player.
Murray and Toot on the draw to the right of Plunkett. 2:36 to go in the first and 30 seconds remaining on a man advantage. McDevitt couldn't control the puck. Elaine tries to spin it around Norling there and then sent down the ice by McCarthy. One last rush for the Eagles on their second power play. Kunin feeds Norling, who spins away and comes up over the line right in the middle. Uses the backhand, goes to the forehand, had an angle, rebounds, shot right on by McDevitt. It lay there just outside the crease. Everybody banging at it, and the power play will expire. Good job by the Purple Knight defense to swarm the crease to keep the Eagles from scoring. Here's Rieger over the line. He makes a fancy move, tried to center in front of Pekka, but it got deflected. And now rimmed around to the near side with 2 minutes to go in period 2. Still 1-0. Lealy dumps it in. Kunin will stop it. Toriainen forechecking for the Purple Knights. Rieger tries to spin away from Lealy, but does a good job to keep it in. Rieger ripped it down the near side this time. Got it out to center, where Wolanin will send it back into Kunin. Stopped by Kunin. Here's O'Connell. O'Connell trying to play a little bit of pool with that pass, but didn't use his billiards angles properly, and instead gets an icing with 86 seconds to go in the second period.
Yeah, the puck has taken some odd bounces today too. From that one off the wall there, and a couple times off the stanchion.
Winnicki now out there playing center. As this line reunited, backhand shot toward the net. Blocked before it could get to Kunin. Wolanin dumps it back down behind the net, takes another funky bounce toward the front, but O'Connell was there to rim it around to the far side. Pekka brings it out to center, finds McCowell. They play catch. Here comes Pekka. On left wing, fakes the shot, goes behind the net, using his speed, goes back to the point to Hope. Hope fanned on a shot, but gets it back again, takes a long shot that's blockered into the far side crowd. As that's the second or third time today, Pekka has used his speed to go behind the net and feed it back to the point. Hope fanned on the initial shot, got it back, and took one that got blockered away by Plunkett. 57.6 seconds to go in period number 2. Don't forget to stay with us in the second intermission. We'll go around the NE10 here on the Post University Sports Network. Toot and McDevitt to the left of Plunkett. Now Toot tossed for Forsilius. Forsilius won the faceoff, rimmed all the way around by Bloom. Walsh tried to get it out, but McQuegan did a good job to hold his spot. Puck still kept in the zone, Norling fighting for it, and Toot gets it out to Forsilius. But good step up by Kennedy, forcing a bad play and possibly an icing. No icing as it didn't get to the line. Rimmed all the way around, but Norling misplayed it. Got it to center, but turned it over. Forsilius to Walsh. Walsh dumps it in too far with 30 seconds to go in the second. Kennedy being ridden by Forsilius, gets it to McQuegan on the near side corner. He'll spin away from his check, but then turned it over in front, one shot right on, and that was Cunin's best save by far in this hockey game as Forsilius had it from about 15 feet out. McQuegan dumps it in with 15. He'll chase after Bloom. Bloom makes a long pass up to Walsh. Walsh takes it at the red line, tries to dump it in. That's what the Purple Knights will do, but they seem like they're just happy to go into the locker room trailing 1-0, and that's how we'll go after 40 minutes here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Well, turnover there and good opportunity for St. Mike's. Their best in the 40 minutes of play there, but Cunin stood tall. But overall, the Eagles have played well.
Yeah, I mean, they've been the ones pushing the pace and setting the tone for the first 40 minutes. So, don't change anything, right? Again, everything, get it up and out, and don't give St. Michael's time and space. They did a great job of that, Post did, of pushing up with their defensemen more towards the red line in the neutral zone. Forwards did a great job of back checking to compress that area, so there was not near as much room to work with as they had in previous games.
The third period yesterday was the most fun of the game, for sure, with the 4 goals. We'll see what comes in the third period of this game after our intermission. So we'll come back in 2 minutes with a look around the NE10 here on a Saturday afternoon at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Post leads 1-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Post University Sports Network, comprising the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I'm Jeff Nelson. Eagles lead the Purple Knights 1-0 on a first period goal by Owen Rieger, a power play goal assisted by Holden Beckett and Connor Murray at 8:34. Look around the NE10 conference brought to you by Post University, ranked as one of the top online colleges for 2025 by Newsweek. So ask yourself, are you a Post person? What are you waiting for? Reach out to Post University today to see what they can offer you online, hybrid, and on-campus degree options await. For more information on all of Post degree options, to visit campus, take a tour, or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Eagle fans, it's the holiday season once again, so ask yourself, is there a better way to start that gift for special, find that gift for that special someone, or update that outdated closet than with Post University apparel from the Eagle Team Store? How about your dorm room, home office, apartment, or home? Is it missing that special touch that only an Eagle blanket, Eagle mouse pad, or Eagle desk mat can provide? If you answered yes to any of these questions or want a coffee mug or anything like that, go to posteagles.com, click on the fans section, then choose School Store on the left-hand side and shop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code GIFTS15, GIFTS15, to receive 15% off any order of $75 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code GIFTS15. It will expire on Monday, November 24th. That's about 48 hours from now. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So get out there and shop now before that Black Friday rush of shopping here around the world, actually, as we get ready for the holiday season. Around the NE10 is really just going to be an update of scores from yesterday, as we sort of went around the full conference yesterday. Games yesterday, Franklin Pierce moved to 4-0 in conference with a 4-2 win against St. A's yesterday up at Franklin Pierce. So good job there. McGuire had a goal. Paganani had a goal. Austin Pick had 2 goals, including an empty netter for Franklin Pierce, who moved to 4-0 in conference. Garrett Galberti and Cam Collins scored for St. A's, who fell to 1-5-1 overall and 1-3-1 in conference. Southern New Hampshire got their first win of the season in conference against Assumption, who had been undefeated up until this point, 5-2. Southern New Hampshire trailed 1-0 early on a Leo Piandez goal, but Ryan Pompaselli, Joey Veenstra, Brendan Lynch gave them a 3-1 lead in the second period. Jake Dinopoli closed it to 3-2 before Kurt Watson scored midway through the third period to give him a 4-2 lead, and then Gavin Simon put the game away with an empty net goal late in the third period. So Southern New Hampshire moved to 2-3-1 overall, 1-3-1 in the NE10, 4 points. And Assumption fell to 5-2-1 overall, 3-1-1 with 10 points. Games today, St. A's and Franklin Pierce will rematch at 7 p.m. Southern New Hampshire and Assumption will rematch at 7 p.m. up in Worcester. Everybody but Post playing on Wednesday. St. Mike's at Amherst, Westfield State at Southern New Hampshire, Assumption at Dartmouth, Framingham State at Franklin Pierce, and St. A's at Riviere, all on Tuesday the 25th, All those games will be on Tuesday the 25th, and then the Eagles start up again on Saturday. A week from today, they'll be on the road, 1:40 p.m. against Arcadia University down in Glenside, Pennsylvania. They'll play 2 games against Arcadia, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Saturday at 1:40, Sunday 12:15 at Acadia. So back-to-back games against Acadia, non-conference, starting Saturday and Sunday. They'll return home a week from Tuesday to host Franklin Pierce here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach Whitney and I live on the pregame at 7:15, puck drop 7:30 on the Post University Sports Network. Eagles only have 2 additional games after that. They'll both be on the road. 2 weeks from yesterday, they'll be at Southern New Hampshire, and then 2 weeks from today, they'll be at Southern New Hampshire, and that will wrap up the fall portion of the regular season. They won't return to hockey action again until January 6th when they host Albertus Magnus here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Standings in the NE10. Franklin Pierce currently in first place, 4-0 overall, as we've mentioned a couple of times. They have 12 points. Assumption 3-1-1 have 10 points, are in second. And these are just the conference records. St. Mike's 2-1-2 have 8 points. Southern New Hampshire 1-3-1 have 4 points. St. A's 1-3-1 have 4 points, and the Eagles 0-3-1 have 1 point, though they do have a game in hand on everybody except Franklin Pierce right now in conference play. That's your look around the NE10 today. We'll come back with second period information, coach's thoughts on an interesting second period. We'll get you ready for the third here on the Post University Sports Network, comprising the CACC network and youtube.com/go Post Eagles. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Eagles still lead 1-0 on an Owen Rieger power play goal in the first period. Shots on goal in the second period for the Eagles 11, a two-period total of 21. For St. Mike's 7, a two-period total of 14. Face-offs, though, St. Mike's sort of dominating 10-5 in the second, lead 18-11 overall. Coach, an interesting second period. And in a way, the face-off numbers sort of reflect that as well. We've had some games where we're chomping down 75 face-offs. We're 29 face-offs through 2 periods, which means there's a lot of action as opposed to, downtime. There's been a lot of movement. Seems to be favoring the Eagles the way it's playing, other than the fact that they're losing the face-offs 18-11.
Yeah, as far as the like I say, the pace of the game, there is. Again, we talked about the whole ping pong thing. There's a lot of that. But a lot of that comes from a really good defensive zone by both teams. And interestingly, once they can get through that neutral zone, there's been very little get over the blue line, maybe a pass, maybe one quick shot, and then you're out the other way. Once they get over that blue line, they're in there for a fairly significant amount of time where they do get the opportunity to create. So we'll see what we bring here. Again, like third period, I'm sure the mindset's the same. Both benches is a 20-minute mini game that you got to win.
And you've talked about it often, Coach. Third period, particularly, win the third period. Well, if the Eagles want to come out here, they tied the third period yesterday. They won it against Western in the first home game. They want to win a game, they got to have to win this period, at least break even. Yeah,
no question.
So a big third period upcoming here on the Post University Sports Network. Eagles waiting for everybody to take the ice for the start of the third period. Again, the Eagles, this is their game in hand. Not necessarily the game in hand, but they have a game in hand on everybody but Franklin Pierce in conference right now. So even though they're at the bottom, win today puts them right back into the mix, and they have 3 more conference games between now and the end of the fall break. They'll host Franklin Pierce on the 2nd here at the Sports Center of Connecticut for the final home game of the fall portion of the season, and then travel to Southern New Hampshire for back-to-back road games.
Yeah, and
starting in 13 days.
Yeah, as a coach, you'd love it to be. We had a good first 6 weeks in the weight room, the captain's practices, and our first 10 days of practice were awesome, and then we got after it, and everything fell into place. But that's just not how it works. So you have to be comfortable with the process and stick to your process and get everyone on board. That's why interesting thing about college hockey is when you do get that break after Thanksgiving, right, a little bit of a break with Thanksgiving, then you go back at it for maybe 3 games or so, and then you have the exam period. So see you in several weeks after that. So it's 2 completely different seasons. So it's a very interesting time in the beginning versus how you end up and where you're looking at in the middle as well.
Eagles will have a decent amount of home games, too, coming out of the winter break, both in conference and out of conference, as I believe it'll be forced. They'll be a couple games short of even on the home ledger. So that'll be an opportunity for the Eagles as well. As here comes Ben Cunine leading his team back out on the ice for the third period. Really, as we talked about, Coach, at the end of the second period, the best shot on goal, best opportunity the Purple Knights have had all game was that shot in the final minute of the second period. The Eagles have done a good job keeping their shots really not challenging at all. Only 14 saves for Ben so far, and that last one was the toughest, but he stood tall again.
Yeah, and that's one thing that the defenders for Post have to pay attention to is Purple Knights are sort of sneaky good at kind of sliding guys into those open shooting areas inside the house, and that's just not a place you want to give up a shot from.
Also, as the Eagles hopefully have learned from yesterday, is when the Purple Knights get desperate, things get a little crazier, and they found 2 goals yesterday in the final 5 minutes.
They did, yeah, for sure. So, again, a 1-goal game. It's a great game for everyone that took the time to get here. And like you say, if you're watching, it's worth the price of admission.
Eagles in the home whites going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. The Purple Knights in purple going left to right as you look at your screen and dial as we get ready for the third period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We thank you for wherever you are joining us on the Post University Sports Network. Last and Murray on the draw. Here we go. Start of the third period in Shelton. Not to say something obvious, but the next goal is obviously going to be big, if there is one. Puck rimmed around last. Tried to feed it in front. He did feed it in front for an opportunity, but Norman had an opportunity and robbery by Ben, who came over to Rob Winicki on the rebound, and there's 2 fantastic opportunities in the first 21 seconds. And Ben Cunine makes 2 excellent saves. My opinion, the best goaltender in the NE10 made 2 great saves there to keep this game 1-0.
Yeah, just a really good read by Ben to get that glove out, and St. Mike's player was not able to elevate that puck like he wanted to, and Ben snuffed it out.
McDevitt tossed. Now they're going to toss last. Someday I'd like to talk to a linesman to figure out what determines getting somebody thrown out, because I'm not really sure what either of them did to get thrown out. Puck just died in the circle because nobody won the faceoff after both centermen got thrown out, and O'Connell ripped it out the center. The Eagles have to be careful. Again, in the last 2 minutes of ice time, the Eagles have had their 3 best, and the Knights, have had their 3 best offensive opportunities. Norling finds a streaking O'Connell over on right wing, takes a long shot from the top of the point, but an easy save for Plunkett, and a face-off to his left. 43 seconds into period number 3.
Yeah, and again, these draws, it's not something Post has been really successful at, but these offensive zone draws are so important.
Santoro and Lealy. Won by Lealy into the corner. Santoro there with Beckett fighting for it. Puck squirts free, and somehow Toriainen came up with it. Excuse me, that was Alan who came up with it. Baxter had to roll off his stick. Toriainen then dumps it in. Glassrud there with time and space in the Zamboni corner, but had 2 Purple Knights come in. One of them hit Glassrud. Puck came out the center, though, and Alan sends it right back off a linesman and dives right in the neutral zone. Beckett sends it in right on goal, gloved by Plunkett. That adds to the save percentage for Plunkett, as they'll count that as a shot on goal. Alain struggles to find it, then makes a bad pass in front, turns it over. Santoro keeps it in. He spins away, tried to feed it down, but couldn't. Puck chipped out the center. Baxter gets to the red line, dumps it in, and everybody goes off for a line change who's wearing purple. Kennedy tries to get it, but turns it over. Rieger gets boarded, and that's a penalty right there. And looking to the sky in frustration is Toot, who boarded Rieger from behind. Rieger unhappy with that. I'm going to guess 2 minutes, but that was dangerous in that Zamboni corner with that funky door on top of it.
Yeah, again.
Just 2.
Right. Already got one power play goal. They're moving the puck well. They're pushing the pace. I know you got a good penalty kill percentage-wise, but you don't want to have to exercise that when you're down 1-0.
Eagles 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Rieger seems okay, skating off and not happy, but seems okay. Power play at 1:45, 2 for boarding. Eagles 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Santoro wins that clean to Haas, gives it over here for Kennedy, takes a shot toward the net, that's gloved as nobody was in front. And then Kimball took a stick to the face, but again with the mask, no damage to the skin. Eagles' second power play didn't look bad either, just wasn't able to get a goal, as all that took 5 seconds so far. Santoro wins it again. Kennedy on left point, gives to Kimball, across the ice to Haas, who does a good job to keep it in on right point. Now he'll close top of the far circle. He'll go behind the net, try to swing it back out, but instead goes behind the net to McMains. McMains looks for Kimball, gives to Kimball, back to McMains, centers it in front for Haas, but couldn't get it there. Santoro spins away from the check of Nichols, 5 players fighting for it, but McMains comes away with it. He has an opportunity, but a bad angle shot taken by McMains, stopped by Plunkett. Kennedy with time, center point, swings it over on the right side to Haas. Haas on the half wall, now closes to the dot, takes a shot that gets blocked and sent all the way down the ice by Wolanin, but good job by Kennedy to stop it before it could go too deep. Right back into Haas, but offsides at the night line with 52 seconds gone on the man advantage. 2:37 gone in period 3, still 1-0 Eagles.
Yeah, some good pressure so far, getting some pucks through. Important, like you mentioned, got to get some traffic in front, take the goaltender's eyes away as well once those pucks move up to the point.
Murray gives to Rieger, who has the goal, looks over for McDevitt. Nice pass to Norling, who closes in with a shot from the bottom of the near circle, but good job by Plunkett to take off the angle. Best opportunity, the man advantage so far, and 1-on-1 remains on that man advantage as Norling closed in on left wing. Murray on the draw with Lealy, a couple of number 21s. Lealy wins it, rims it around to the far side of the ice and out to center. Rieger has to chase, gives to Norling. Norling gets to the blue line, tried to spin it back to Murray, but 2 Purple Knights were there. Right now the puck right in front of the blue line and out to center it goes as here comes McCarthy. McCarthy with speed, he'll dump and chase after it, picks it up behind the net, tried to swing it in front, but McDevitt took him out of the play, and here comes Owen Rieger. Rieger gets to center, carries it in over the line on right wing, looks to go around Wolanin, centers it back in front to Beckett, who closes and scores!
Right there.
What a pass by Owen Rieger, who made the entire Purple Knight penalty kill. Look at him, and then he fed a pass out to Holden Beckett at 3:18, and the Eagles take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, just well conceived right off the bat, and you could see Post trying to push to one side, look for the other player coming in, sort of getting lost in that area. We talked about it a little bit with St. Mike's doing that. Post did a great job of doing that themselves.
So the Eagles 2 power play goals today, and Beckett's first of the season. Rieger a 2-point game. See if there is a secondary assist on that goal as the Eagles take a 2-0 lead at 3:18 on Beckett's first, and what a play by Owen Rieger. The Eagles have a couple of good defensemen there, and Kennedy and Rieger, both sophomores so far. Back come the Purple Knights. So the second straight game in a row, the Eagles have had a 2-0 lead in the third period. Let's see if they can hold it today. This is where St. Mike's began to step it up and sort of go all out offensively. Eagles need to keep playing the way they've been playing, basically. If they do that, they should do well here. Kennedy gives to McCall. Back comes the Purple Knights the other way. Here's Baxter with a shot. It goes off the leg of McCall, and there's a 2-on-2. Hawkins and Pekka, 2 of the fastest Eagles, but Pekka goes off. Hawkins takes a long shot, blockered away. Santoro off the bench, dumps it back down to Hawkins, but turned over to Alain. Alain behind the net, but down he goes as Santoro checked him off the puck. Baxter, now he'll try to get it out on the near side, just does, but turns it over as O'Connell will send it right back in. Alain gloves it. Brings it to the red line, dumps it in after it is Lecomte. Pacheco rimmed it around. Santoro on the far side tries to poke it out the center, but a nice job by Hawkins and his speed. Here he comes up on right wing. He's got a chance to get around Wolanin, and he does. Takes a bad angle shot that's stopped by Plunkett. Santoro leaves it back for Pacheco. Turned it over at center, and the puck dumped in, and the Eagles will play from behind their own net. Here's O'Connell. Rimmed it around to Hawkins, who's had a long shift. Swings it back over here to Pacheco with 5 minutes gone in the third. 2-0 Eagles. We'll get you the official scoring on the second goal in a moment. Douglas in, stopped by Kunin. Leaves for Pacheco. Dumps it behind the net to O'Connell, but Forsili is forced to check on him. McDevitt goes back to help out as he's being held by Walsh. Walsh is skiing on him, and there's going to be a delayed penalty, and the Eagles are going back to the man advantage as Walsh is going to take 2 for holding. Whenever they touch the puck, will the Knights. Check on McQuegan, dumped in. This will be the touch, and the Eagles go to their 4th power play of the game. Yeah. At 5:40 on a, we'll call it, I think it's holding, but let's see what he officially calls it. It's holding it is. It's 5:40.
We'll see how this plays out, but right now the St. Michael's really looks to be a step behind.
Goal officially is Holden Beckett's first of the season from Rieger and Murray at 3:18. So 2 points for Rieger, 2 points for Murray. 2 power play goals for the Eagles. And now they'll have an opportunity for a third. 2 for 3 on the man advantage. Rieger closes in, takes a shot that gets blocked. Norling spins on left point. Watched by Toot. Good three-way passing. Here's Norling looking to center it in front. He did to Murray, and a stop right on by Plunkett as that puck ended up right on his stick between the circles, and Murray just shot it in the Plunkett. Oh, if the Eagles could ever take a 3-0 lead. Here comes Rieger, and the second power play unit has looked better than the first, but Rieger goes off sides on an end-to-end run. So Beckett, Rieger, and Murray, each with 2 points today, Coach, as they've assisted and goaled each other this entire game. So,
well, again, those are nice to see because it's an indication of team play as opposed to an individual having to get it done.
Pushing the other way is Nauman on the penalty kill, but turned it over, and here comes Kennedy, the defending NE10 Rookie of the Year. Feeds it across to Santora. Kennedy, though, picked it up in the corner. Looks to go back to the point to Haas. He does. Haas, center point, closes and takes a shot looking for a deflection from Kimball. He got it, but it went wide. St. Mike's tries to clear, but a nice job by Haas to keep it in on left point. He'll close in below the circle, goes behind the net. Gives it to McMains, takes a return pass. Haas gets it back to Kennedy. Kennedy has somebody on the right side. That's Kimball who takes a shot and fanned on it. Picked it back up. Puck bouncing. Haas has it now on right point. Haas spins away. Fans on his pass to Kennedy, but Kennedy comes over to help out. Dumps it down low to McMains. McMains closing in on the red line. Spins it back. On the goal line, excuse me. Spins it back. Goes back to Haas on left point. Crosses over for Kennedy. Kennedy with time. Closes in. Takes a wrist shot that got blocked by Last. Eagles still keep it in though. Spinning away is McMains, and then finally St. Mike's clears it out with 25 left on the man advantage. Kimball calls for it, but Haas wisely waits for Hope. With 15 remaining on the man advantage. Here's Hope. Gets to the red line and gets mauled by Toot. And the puck sent back into the Eagles zone with 10 seconds remaining. 7:30 gone in the third period. The Eagles about to go 2 for 4 on the man advantage. Eagles, and they lead 2-0. Gazzardi dumps it into McCall. Tried to center it in front. Couldn't find Pekka. Alain tries to get it out and turns it over. Icing on the Eagles on a bad pass by O'Connell, and that'll send the puck all the way down into the Eagle zone. 7:55 gone in the third, 2-0. Kunin talking to his defenseman. Winnicki on the draw against Macau. Winnicki Last and Nauman out there, although there is something going on. As one of the officials is staring at the St. Mike's bench.
Some sort of explanation, I think.
Are the Eagles shorthanded? Are they down one? No. Okay. Whatever the issue seems to have been cleared up. There is no penalty on anybody. 5-on-5, we play still. 7:55 gone in the third, 2-0 Eagles. Second time in 2 days they've had a 2-0 lead. Obviously St. Mike's made a play to come back yesterday. And a long shot through a screen. Stopped by Ben with the right pad on a shot by Racker. And that's the kind of simplicity that St. Mike's has been lacking in this game. But Kunin made a big save there to keep this 2-0. Now St. Mike's is desperate, so they're going to open it up just like they did yesterday. And it worked for them yesterday. They got both goals they needed, one on a 6-on-5. Here's Pekka over the line with a wrist shot that Plunkett struggled with as it was a headhunter right at his head. Gloved it away on a shot by Pekka. 4 players in the corner, back to the point and kept in nicely by Pacheco. Pacheco gets it to McDevitt, who rims it around. Behind the net, eventually he gets rimmed out the far side, and Nauman spins away from 3 Eagle checkers as everybody goes for a line change. This should be icing, and it is, as it was too far for Walsh. 8:46 gone in the third, still 2-0. Again, officially Beckett, his first of the season from Rieger and Murray at 3:18 on the power play.
Yeah, again, right now, St. Mike's looks like they're squeezing the sticks just a little bit too tight.
McDevitt and Marshall Thomas, who we haven't seen a ton of in this game, didn't play a lot in the second period. Face-off won by the Eagles. Pacheco makes a fancy move, fakes a shot, then takes a shot in front. Puck lay there for a moment. Plunkett finally got his glove on it. And we'll have another face-off to his right.
Yeah, right now, Post doing a good job coming back and winning some draws, an important part of the game, important portion of the game.
Something they've been struggling with today. They did end up having a big day on the draws in the third period yesterday. It was pretty even until the third period. The Eagles ended up winning by 12 overall on draws. Here comes a racing Walsh up on left wing. He's got a man in front, took a shot, missed the net, as Walsh had what eventually became a 2-on-1. He used that 6'3" frame out of East Greenwich, Rhode Island. He's a freshman. Went toward the net, but ended up missing on what would have been a 2-on-1. Puck turned over. Walsh picks it up again. He drives in. Pacheco took a little bit of a trip there on Walsh, but no call. Break for the Eagles again, and Hope will try to pick it up inside the Purple Knight zone. Well, Lannon spins away with it, shot it right into Hope, who's pinching down into the corner away from his defensive position, and McDevitt comes up with it. McDevitt closes it in bad angle, shot, but goes wide, as ultimately missed the net by a good 10 feet. Midway through the third now, 2-0 Eagles, as Cuneen's been strong. Colin Walsh has had a couple of opportunities for the Knights in the third period, but Cuneen's been strong. Hope gets to the red line, dumps it in around the boards. Plunkett will play it up the wall. Sacco tries to get it out. Hope keeps it in with a slap shot that goes way wide. Didn't get a lot on that. Kennedy, nice little chip pass up to Murray. Murray's got 2 points in this game, both assists. Swings it over up on left wing to McMains. McMains makes a fancy move, gets to the middle, takes a shot that was going wide, but gloved by Plunkett anyway, with 9:40 to go in the third.
Yeah, again, Post dominating with time of possession and shots on goal. Really good opportunity for St. Mike's. That quick hitting play, again, you can see how dangerous they can be with that 2-on-1 that they have.
They do have size. Walsh 6'3", Baxter 6'5". So they do have a couple of big boys on that forward unit. And Walsh, using his freshman speed, had an opportunity, but shot it wide. Here comes Baxter, the aforementioned one. Takes a long shot, but Ben saw that easy. And Cuneen makes the save with the glove. A little pushing and shoving after the play. Santoro, as always, in the mix when he's on the ice, talking to Lealy. Want to be careful. You don't want to take anything bad here right now. You don't want to do what Connor Bedard did the other night against San Jose, where he thought he was held, and then complained to the referee and ended up taking a 2-minute minor that cost them the game the other day. Big hit by Lealy, except he missed Hope entirely and crashed into the wall, as that sounded worse than what it was. 5 players fighting in the near side corner. Puck stolen. Dumped to center. Long shot taken in by Bloom. Eagles try to get it out, but turn it over. Here's Bloom stepping in, taking a shot that goes wide. Kept in by Lecomte toward the net. Blocked in front by Hope. Eagles trying to get it out now. Here's the scramble drill. Douglas tried to feed it toward the net, but Beckett chopped it all the way down the ice. That's not going to get down for icing.
It's a good touch on that puck by Beckett to avoid the icing.
Bloom spins away. And he'll wait for everybody to get set up with 8:20 to go in the third. Here's Bloom. Comes out from behind his own net. Feeds a pass to Elaine on left wing. Finds the aforementioned Walsh. He'll dump it in, being chased after by this mixed line of Forsilius and Thomas. Pekka tries to come away with it with speed. Gets to the red line, dumps it in. Good play by Pekka to dump and chase. Elaine will pick it up behind the net. Gazzardi there to help him out. 3 Eagles, though, deep inside the zone. And back on the Purple Knights on a 3-on-2, but a turnover and a nice play by Pekka, who I wish we could track how many miles he skates when he's on the ice, or his percentage, because he does a lot. He came from all the way behind the net, came all the way back, got back into the 3-on-2, and then went all the way back down.
Yeah, he has just a great burst. It's not even burst of speed. It's constant speed when he's out there, really. You know, some players will slow then speed, slow then speed. He just goes.
Nichols shot toward the net, bounces to the side, pops out in front for an opportunity. Got blocked nicely by O'Connell. Nichols sends it back toward the net. Good job by Pacheco to get in front of that one as it doesn't get to Ben. Pops out to 2, and then Pekka gets it out to center. Good job by the Eagles to stand tall in front of their goaltender and block some shots. Puck rimmed around the Pacheco, turned over though. Toot tried to center it out in front. Pacheco did a good job to chop at it and get it out the center, and then Norling dumped it down, but Gazzardi's going to win the race, so no icing there at all. Gazzardi, pinned by Nichols, pops out with it in the far side corner. Tried to go back to the point, but stuck on the half wall. Norling coming in to help. Nichols and Norling now fighting. Gazzardi with his stick in there. Puck finally moves, rimmed all the way around from far to near. Kennedy, good job to keep it in. He'll send it right back behind the net to Norling, but bounced away from him. And Nichols will have an opportunity looking for Bloom, but then he turned it over inside the zone. Shot turn around by McDevitt, stopped by Plunkett. Norling pins Nichols to the wall. St. Mike's has a chance to get it out, and they do, and Kennedy will pick it up in the neutral zone with 6:42 to go in the third. Hits the red line, dumps it right back in, takes a bad bounce. Plunkett almost fell down as that puck took a different kind of bounce than he was thinking. Team's fighting for as it bounces toward the goal. Kimball had a roll off his stick. Puck rimmed around. Last tries to chip it out. Kimball kept it in for a moment and then poked out of the zone, and now a one-on-one. Here's Winicki. One-on-one, tries to get around Kennedy. He does on a backhand. The puck lay there, and they score, but the whistle was blown dead.
I think this is one of the few times you're going to see a official reverse his decision.
Referee
he blew the whistle, but then he pointed all day long. It's going to be a discussion, and if he's calling that a goal, I do not envy him going over and explaining it to the post bench.
So the shot was stopped, and the rebound was left in the crease. Some official, I don't know which one of the four, I think the referee, blew the whistle because he couldn't see it, but it was backhanded into basically an open goal, I think by Winicki. All of this was 6:14 to go in the third, but the official blew his whistle before that puck went into the net.
And again, that's similar to what we saw yesterday when there was a loose puck and the backside official blew the whistle. That official, I understand that official can't see the puck and he's down low, but if his partner, he's got to look to his partner, I think, give him a little glance to see where he is, and because his partner could see that puck all day long.
I mean, by the rule, he blew the whistle, so I don't think this should count. I understand he pointed after the fact, and no matter that the goal was that wide open, once you blow the whistle, it's dead. Well, let's see. No goal. They call it no goal. That's the right call from a technical standpoint, but St. Mike's not going to be happy because that should have been a goal.
Yes, and he knows. You could see his reaction after he blew the whistle. He knows that.
He pointed as if it was a goal.
Right,
yeah.
He knows. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes happen, but that should be a St. Michael's goal. Let's be as honest as we can. A break for Ben Cunneen and a break for the Post-University Eagles. But that should have been a goal for St. Mike's.
And that's, and right away you got to get that. If you're St. Mike's, your psyche, you got to get that out of your head. You got to get that out of your head, and you got to get the next one.
How do you?
That's part of being a hockey player.
If it was 1-0, it might be a little easier. It's
part
2-0.
of being a hockey player.
Okay.
Good old expression, water off a duck.
Because that's not exactly the same play they scored on yesterday, but they scored right around this time yesterday, and that led to the first goal and then the second goal. But now St. Mike's has to fight a little harder as a goal wiped off the board, a legitimate goal they should have scored, wiped off the board by an errant whistle by the officials. And ultimately, it all evens out at the end of the season, probably, right, Coach? If you took everything, no intent there. He did lose sight, and technically, if you lose sight of it,
nobody's perfect, and you move on. That's all you can do. So
a gigantic break for the Eagles. Can't really sum it up any less than that. Now with 5 minutes to go in the third, still leading 2-0. But St. Mike's is pushing. Forselius Rims it down around inside the Eagle zone. Pacheco tried to chip it out, and they just get it over the blue line. Sent right back in, though, by Nichols, and St. Mike's will tag up. Forselius coming down on Hope, who has the puck. Pacheco spins away with it, gets it to Pekka. Pekka tried to get it out to center, but shot it off McCall. He picked it up again and carried it out to center. McCall in over the line. Excuse me, that's Pekka. Now to McCall with a shot. Nice stop by Plunkett there as the Eagles finally reverse field position with 5 minutes to go in the third. Still 2-0. Eagles. Toot and McCall. Clean win by McCall to Pacheco. Back to the point to O'Connell. Looked for a one-timer. He got it, but shot it wide. Pekka pinned to the wall by Douglas. Toot comes in to help out, but McCall comes away with it. McCall back to Pacheco at the point. Does a good job to keep it in for a second before it rolls out the center. Now McCall, chop check by 2 Purple Knights. Gives it to Gazzardi. Gazzardi goes behind his own net with under 5 minutes to go in regulation time. Eagles lead 2-0. The big push from St. Mike's is coming, and it's coming right now as that puck rolls in on net before Sacco chopped at Ben Kunin with 4:31 to go in the third.
You know, I'm okay. Obviously, you're protecting your goaltender, but the guys are playing the whistle. All right, everything that occurred that they're upset about happened before there was a whistle. So you play to the whistle.
And I hate to say this, you want to be careful of your posts because you just got the break of a lifetime.
Absolutely.
So you don't want to do something. You don't want to make the official make up a call. Not that they're going to make up a call, but create a make-up call against your team because you said or did something you shouldn't with under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think that's coincidental.
Yeah, it's going to be 4-on-4.
Is it 4s or 5s?
Should be 4s because they're 2 each, I think.
Yeah.
Which might open this up a little bit. So McCall and Toot, 2 each for, call it unsportsmanlike conduct at 15:29. So we'll play 4-on-4.
And yesterday, if we remember, Post dominated when they had that 4-on-4.
They did. Kimball fighting right at the line. Puck squirts out the center. See if St. Mike's pulls their goalie if they get an opportunity. Still a little early, but could be 5-on-4 if they choose that route. As these pulling goaltenders get more and more aggressive as analytics comes into play. Nauman turned it over to Kennedy, but good job to help out by Bloom. 4 minutes to go in regulation time. We're 4-on-4, 2-0 Eagles. Douglas. Gives to Thomas. Thomas with speed up on left wing, carries it in over the line, goes behind the net, spins away. 4-on-4. Pacheco pins him to the wall. Forselius comes in to help out. Eagles get it. Connor Murray sends it into a light. Didn't hit the roof. He hit a light. I don't think that light shattered, unfortunately. They're checking to see if anything fell. Something did fall off that light. As it's shaking, so referees are going to make sure there's no little pieces there that somebody can skate on. 3:29 to go in regulation time. 59 seconds on the 4-on-4. Goaltender Plunkett still in for St. Mike's. Face off to the right of Ben Kunin. As Santoro. Timeout. Yep. This may be the moment right here. Would you pull him right now?
You know, it's an interesting move, right? Because your power play hasn't been good. Post has been able to snuff that out. So I think it's really a question of.
To be fair, though, they've only had one today.
Right. Is now where we, kind of shoot our shot and let's see if this is what we can do. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly how St. Mike's played it. How St. Mike's plays this.
They did score 6 on 5.
To answer your question, if it's me, yes. I mean, at this point, I do, because we need one soon before we go 6 on 5.
They did score 6 on 5 yesterday, and I think maybe in the back of their heads as well, that goal that got wiped out 3 minutes ago is on their minds too. They know they got to find. Not only do they find one, they got to find 3 if they want to tie, because they had one taken away, and now they got to come up with 2 more.
Yeah.
On a goaltender who isn't giving up very much.
No, for sure.
I mean, the drawback, obviously, is that you lose the face-off and it gets sent into your net.
All right, it could easily be over. The game could be game could be decided in 5 seconds, or it could get really interesting.
Well, they're going for it. Plunkett's out. 5-on-4. As they've pulled Evan Plunkett with 3:29 to go in regulation time, they will take what is essentially a power play opportunity here to try to get one. Eagles win the faceoff. It's sent behind the net. Thomas back to the point to Douglas. Over here for Forselius. This is how they scored yesterday. Forselius didn't one-time it. Instead, he sent it into the corner. Pacheco chipped it up the wall. Played in the zone by Walsh, now on the half wall. Walsh has had a couple of good opportunities. Runs into his own man. That's McCarthy, who scored both goals in those final 5 minutes. McCarthy spins with it. Closes toward the net. Looks down low, below the goal line. Thomas fanned on his pass to Forselius. 3 minutes to go in regulation. 25 to go on the 4-on-4. Forselius to the middle, being watched by McQueen, goes behind his back to Douglas. A stick goes flying. That's Pacheco, and that might be one of those calls where they didn't make it because of the earlier problem. McCarthy tried to spin it into the zone. 5 seconds on the 4-on-4. Eagles just want to get it out. They do, so it will be 6-on-5 now with 2:30 to go in regulation time. Plunkett's out. Both players back on the ice. St. Mike's has used their timeout. Walsh to McCarthy. Dumps it in. McCall first one after. McCall gets checked off. Good play by Kennedy to get it back to the point. Forselius, long shot. Blockered away by Kunin. Toot. Loses control. Forselius one-timer. Nice block by Kennedy. Behind the back pass in front. Kunin makes a big save. As St. Mike's put all the pressure in the world on with 2 minutes to go, and Kunin makes a big save also. A nice block by the Eagles in front. Back the other way they come in. Toot loses the puck to Pekka. Eagles trying to get it out. Just chip it out is what they need to do. Not try to make anything more fancy than that. McCall pushes it out to center. And then Hope sends it back toward the Purple Knight zone. Eagles make a couple of player changes. Gazzardi watching a land. Long pass taken by Winicki. Sticked away by Kunin. Kennedy sends it down out to the neutral zone. That might have been icing had it not gone off a player. Right back in comes Forselius the other way with 90 seconds. Takes a bad angle shot. Del Rim all the way around and down. Kimball racing after it. Has an open net if he can get there. Sends it toward the open net. And he scores! Baxter Kimball at 18:39. And the Eagles are going to win this one, Coach. It's 3-0. For Kimball, his second of the season, that'll be unassisted as he found that puck off a bad shot at 18:39, and the Eagles will likely finish this off in the next 81 seconds. The real question now is whether Ben will keep his shutout. Puck inside the Knight zone. Sent toward the net. McBain's tried a shot toward the net with a minute to go in regulation. 3-0 Eagles on the unassisted goal by Baxter Kimball. Pacheco behind his net to O'Connell. O'Connell avoids the hit, sends it back the other way to McMains. McMains high in the air, out to center to Nichols with 45. Nichols gets to the blue line, dumps it in. Pacheco there. Seen a lot of Pacheco here in the third period. Puck gloved by Nichols, turned over to McMains. He'll carry it in on right wing over the line, and the Eagles are 30 seconds away from a big 4-point weekend. Plunkett gloves it, gives it to Douglas. Douglas chips it up the wall to Forselius, who brings it to center. Carries it in, 1-on-4 over the line, makes a little fancy move, spins with that, goes back to the point, finds a streaky man down the line, hits the post. That's about the story for St. Mike's right there as Thomas hits the post from 20 feet out. Thomas spins with it, goes down, delayed penalty with 5 seconds to go. 5.6 to be fair in regulation time. And that's the story today for St. Mike's. They haven't, to be fair, they haven't played a great hockey game, but have had opportunities. Ben made a big save. Obviously, the disallowed goal, which should have been a goal. sort of a backbreaker and really changed the game late in the third period. But they were down 2-0 at that point. Hope 2 for tripping at 19:54. Eagles win the puck. They'll hold the puck. The game will end. And for the second time in 4 home games, Ben Cunene has a shutout. This is a program that's had no shutouts in its history until the season opener, and now in 4 weeks, Cunene's got 2. Coach, Eagles win 3-0.
Yeah, and, obviously we know what Ben can do in the net, but the good thing is Post is now beginning to put pucks in the back of the net. They're starting to score goals. That's been a problem they've had in the past, and early on in this Northeast 10 league. That's an issue that they've had. So being able to put up, we'll call it 2, we can call it 3, one's an empty netter, but they've been able to get that part off their back a little bit, and so hopefully they can just build and grow from there.
So I'll see if we can get a couple players up here for post game. See who that will be. We'll wrap it up as we await here. All right, we're going to effort Connor Murray and Owen Rieger today, Coach. 3 stars brought to you by Post University. We want you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals. No matter where you are on your academic journey, Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to visit campus, take a tour, or apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Coach, the 3 stars today should be a Post sweep, I would think.
Yeah, and my first star, you can't, how do you not give it to a guy that stopped everything he saw today and everything that came his way, and probably some pucks he didn't see to the last second, with the second shutout of his career. Ben Cunene gets the first star for me. Second star with what turned out to be the game-winning goal, and also, too, he played such a good game yesterday. 7 shots on goal. Owen Rieger gets my second star, and you need a good setup player. You need a good setup guy. And with the 2 assists, Connor Murray gets my third star.
That's an easy 3 stars, and we're hoping to get our second and third star up here for an interview. Ben will probably get mad at me for not having him come up here today, but we just talked to him a couple weeks ago.
It's hard to climb hard to climb that ladder with your goalie pads on.
We just got him up here a couple weeks ago, so we will talk to Owen hopefully and Connor momentarily. So the Eagles move up to 4 points, 1-3-1 in conference. 2-3-1 overall. St. Mike's falls to 2-2-2 in conference. 3-2-3 overall, so now a 3-way tie for 4th. Technically, the Eagles are in 4th because they've played 1 fewer games. Southern New Hampshire and St. A's both play tonight, so that'll be another. The Eagles will have 2 games in hand in conference, depending on the outcome. But a huge 4-point weekend, and we can talk about some of what occurred here in the third period that we'll all forget about that goal that wasn't allowed later on in the season. It's like the Mets no-hitter, the first no-hitter for Santana. We all know that ball was fair that Beltran hit, but it doesn't count. We all know that goal should have counted, but it didn't, so it'll go down as a shutout for Ben Cunene, but only 2 goals allowed all weekend, Coach. He had a really solid weekend. Yeah,
this is what Ben Cunene can do, and he's needed that supporting cast behind him, and he had that today.
Shots on goal in the third period for the Eagles, 12, a 3-period total of 33. Also a good sign for the Eagles. They're clipping that 30-shot barrier. For St. Mike's, 8, a 3-period total of 22. Face-offs, Eagles again dominating third period on face-offs. They did it yesterday, 14-8. A 3-period total for the Eagles of 25, 26 for St. Mike's. So it all breaks even pretty much on the face-off dot based on the third period. So good job overall by the Eagles. There's a lot to take with this set of wins. Yes, they're going to play a couple non-conference games next week, so they'll enjoy their turkey this week and then have 2 non-conference games. But 3 conference games right after that. Franklin Pierce here, then 2 at Southern New Hampshire. But you got the bagel out of the way. You feel better. You won today. You played well today. You played well for 55 minutes yesterday. It just sort of fell apart in the last 5. But good things to take home for this weekend.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it sets it up really good. Arcadia is a really good team. They play in a really good league, so you get to get on the road and play two and be together on the road and enjoy each other's company and really go at it and see what it's like. It's fun. It's always fun for the guys when you play non-league games like that to see what other teams are like, how it is in other leagues. So that's a very good experience for those players to do that and then build off of that and come back hopefully with momentum to carry yourself into that Christmas break, which sounds crazy to say Christmas break at this point, but
I'm not ready.
It does happen that, having lived that, it does happen that fast. Not
sure I'm ready for that yet, but it is what it is. Murray and Rieger, we are efforting. Again, everybody mobbed Ben after the final horn. It will go down as a shutout, his second of the season, second shutout of his career, and the second ever in post-university history. So good all around, and he was 55 minutes and 29 seconds into a shutout yesterday. It just didn't happen to break his way.
Yep.
So, and again, third period scoring, Holden Beckett on a great individual effort, really, by Owen Rieger, who got all four penalty killers to look at him, and he flipped a little pass to Rieger at the bottom of the far circle, and he ripped it by Holden Beckett ripped it by a shocked Plunkett, who didn't even see the backup player for his first goal of the season. Give Murray an assist there, so 2 assists for Connor Murray today, goal and an assist for Owen Rieger, and a goal and assist for Holden Beckett. That was at 3:18, a power play goal. Eagles 2 for 4 on the man advantage today. And then the empty net goal by Baxter Kimball at 18:39 to put it away, 3-0. We will, just for context as well, with 6:31 to go in regulation time, the Eagles up 2-0. A quick whistle by referee who lost sight of the puck, even though it was sitting all alone in the crease, was found by Roman Winicki, put it into the goal. Referee knew right away he blew that whistle a little too early. But unfortunately for St. Michael's, unfortunately for the Eagles, they did the right thing and called a no goal because that whistle was blown early. Break for the Eagles, and ultimately led to keeping the shutout and a 3-0 victory, as we have Connor Murray coming up. Connor, come on in. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. No, we're good. All right, we're good. We got Connor Murray with us here. 2 assists today. Good game. Good, tough game yesterday with how it ended, but you guys came out today, got another shutout for Ben.
Benny's been great. I mean, I think when we play a full 60 in front of him, we know we have him back there to save us when we mess up here and there, because it's going to happen. It's hockey. So, I mean, Benny, hats off to him. I mean, he's unbelievable. All year, last year, everything about him just great. So,
talk about your game. What you're seeing out there? 2 assists today. You played well yesterday. What do you got? What are you seeing out there that's making this team's engine run?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be simple. I'm just trying to play my game. I think when I use my speed and just play my game and it's simple, complete, I think that's when I'm playing my best. I mean, power play looked great too. I give credit to the guys that I'm playing with too. I mean, they're unbelievable. Baxter I've been playing with for many years, so playing with him makes it very easy. So,
Coach and I were saying, basically 125 minutes of hockey this weekend. You guys played excellent for 120.
Yeah.
What do you have to do in that to remove that 5 minutes from your?
Yeah.
From your
I mean,
team?
it's a long game, so you're gonna have times where you mess up, you have your bad moments. But I think just coming together as a team, trying to find that full, complete 60 minutes is what we're trying to really bear down on. So.
Perfect. Talk to us. What do you do for Thanksgiving? So you don't have a game until Thanksgiving. What are you going to do?
I'm going to my girlfriend's house for Thanksgiving. Family moved to Florida, so it's a little bit more of a hike with a short turnaround. Girlfriend's right down the street, so nice to have them around. So
perfect. Is it a turkey? Is it a ham? Are you a turkey guy? Ham
turkey.
Guy?
Yeah,
turkey. Right. Mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
More mac and cheese. Picky eater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connor Murray, picky eater. 2 assists today. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Connor.
Thank you.
It. Congrats, Connor. Thank you. So we await, hopefully, Owen Rieger. I don't know if we saw him down there. Or I saw him come out. I don't know if he ventured close to the. You want to get Beckett? You got Beckett had a goal and assist. We await hopefully Holden Beckett. He should. He should. Ben did an excellent job. I mean, Ben wants to come up. We'll take Ben too, but I don't want to make him climb the ladder more than once. As we await. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We didn't know he was at that point, so. See if we can get somebody else to come on up. Overall, Eagles win 3-0 today, move to 4 points in the NE10. I mean, Tim wants to climb the ladder. We can get Coach Richter up here, too. That from when he got boarded? He definitely came out and played a shift after that, but maybe. Yeah. All right, give it another minute to see if Beckett's going to make the climb. Otherwise, we'll close down shop here. Here we go. Is Ben coming? Oh, I guess maybe we're getting Ben. Okay, I think we're getting Ben, actually. Kuneen. I think Ben's coming. Come on up. We're about to have 6, so that's. That's all right. Just sit in the corner for now until we're done. We're going to get down next. Let's do him first.
I heard that yesterday. That has nothing to do with it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
How we doing?
Good to see you.
All right. Good to go. Ben Cunine, 2 shutouts. This is becoming a regular thing now.
I hope so. I hope so. It was a great game. Great game.
Talk to 22 shots on goal for St. Mike's today, so your defense really stood tall in front of you. A lot of block shots as well. Tell me what you saw out there.
Yeah, we were great. From the moment, first period started, I could tell, the energy was really high today. Coach was preaching details beforehand, and I think we executed them perfectly. I mean, we really shut them down. I mean, they had a couple pretty good chances, but other than that, I mean, most of the shots were outside, and I was able to see pretty cleanly.
Yeah, Coach and I were talking, like, if you can see it, you're stopping it right now.
Yeah.
The only 2 goals, obviously, in that short little span yesterday were deflections that you didn't see. So
yeah.
What are you seeing? Is that puck looking like a beach ball right now? Like, what do you see?
I mean, I'm feeling good out there. I'm definitely confident in my game right now, but I think the guys have helped me out a ton. I think, like you said, blocking shots has been great for us. I also think, like, having that determination to want to kill a play, not let it bobble and let them kind of hang around in the zone. I think that's been great. So miles difference from last weekend. And that's a pretty good team over there. And we showed, this whole league that we can play with anyone. So
guys up to 4 points now in conference, so they can get that bagel out of the way.
Yep.
Talk about upcoming games. You got Arcadia next weekend and then 3 straight games against NE10 conference players, 1 here. So you got 4 road games and 1 home game coming up. What do you guys need to do, particularly in the NE10 games?
Yeah, we'll go up to Arcadia. We'll get to see a good non-conference team, so that'll be fun. Get the guys moving, hopefully have a couple wins up there, feeling good for Franklin Pierce Tuesday. But it's going to be a gauntlet next week. We have, I think, 5 games in 8 days or something. So it'll be good. It's going to be a good test. FP, they're buzzing right now.
Yep.
We're going to have them. I kind of want to get them back for last weekend. And then SNU's always good. Going up to SNU, that's always a tough game. So really excited for this group. I think we really turned some heads this weekend. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Thanksgiving coming up. What do you do for Thanksgiving?
We got 1 day off, so I'll probably go to one of the teammates' house. I know OC hosts a lot of the guys from out of town.
Okay.
So go there. Might go to a Devils game, but take it pretty low-key. I mean, we're skating Wednesday, Friday, so. Yeah.
Turkey or ham?
I like ham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ham guy? Well, Murray is a turkey guy, just so
Okay.
you know. And then sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes.
Let's see. See, we got a couple different votes up here. Ben Cunine, second career shutout for him, second home shutout in 4 starts. So good job by him. Next home game is December 2nd, 7:30 on the network. We'll see you then. Jeff Nelson, Pete Whitney, Ben Cunine, who's going to come up here a lot more often if he keeps it up. We'll see you in
Hope so.
a couple weeks.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come up on my LinkedIn feed now. I'm going to friend you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Come up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to be in the real world, too.
I know.